It is an absolutely beautiful evening for football here in Northern California. Stanford, they have dropped 6 of the last 7 to Cal in this meeting. Of course, the key, as we mentioned at the top of the show, is Toby Gerhart. And Lewis Johnson, the third member of our team. How do you stop this guy?
Yeah, that's the big question. You know, for the Stanford fans and the coaches, Toby Gerhart has given them lots of excitement over the last 2 weeks, over 400 yards rushing. But if you're the defensive coordinator, Bob Gregory, for California, you've had a headache all week wondering, how do we stop this big 235-pound back? Well, this week he and his defense went back to the basics, tackling. And they've been really specific, and they said, look, we cannot hit Toby Gerhart high because he's too strong. He'll just shake you off. If you try to go low, cut him at his feet, he picks his feet up really great. But the deal is you've got to hit this guy right between the waist and the kneecaps. That's the target today if you're going to slow Toby Gerhart down. Now, one other thing that he mentioned, every week their goal is to try and hold it back to under 100 yards. But this week, they're hoping they can hold Toby Gerhart to under 150 yards rushing. How about that, Ron?
Not too bad.
Yeah, Lewis, I think if they hold him to 150, they'll be in great shape. But there's a saying, look him in the eye and tackle him in the thigh. And that's what they have to do with Toby today. If you go too low, he'll embarrass you. Too high, and he'll just act like he's swatting flies. They have to hit him right in the thigh area.
Well, Stanford has won 3 straight. 6 Pac-10 wins, the most since 2001. The last time they had 7 conference wins was back in 1999. And this is the first time since 91 that each team came in here not only ranked but also with 7 wins. Now, Stanford won the toss, and they want the football. And that's not a big surprise considering the last couple of games, the last 4 games, they've averaged over 500 yards offense.
Well, Stanford's offense sets the tone physically, and that's what Jim Harbaugh wants to do. Get the ball right away and show Cal that we're here to play, and you're going to have to meet us physically if you have a chance.
And we take a look at Giorgio Tavecchio, the sophomore out of Moraga, California. The problem with him, he doesn't have a strong leg. Only 2 touchbacks this year, short kicks, and he's kicking to the #1 return team in the country with Chris Owusu. And they tried to squib it, but Owusu's still going to get it at about the 16-yard line, and he's got some room. Up to the 30-yard line. Let's take a look at the Craftsman tools for success.
I think for Cal to have a chance, they have to take advantage of every situation in the red zone. No field goals, they have to get touchdowns. And then team defense against Gerhart. It takes multiple tacklers to get him to the ground. And for Stanford, they have to quicken things for Riley. And what that means is get pressure on him early, make him quicken his mindset, and then sort out the loaded box. Cal brings all kinds of people down in the box. Andrew Luck has to make good decisions in the face of that.
Now we're going to see a lot of different formations as Fleener goes in motion, moves to the right side. A little play action. This is where Luck is so good. Dumps it underneath the coverage to Fleener. He's able to pick up a couple of yards. Let's take a look at the Wranglers starting lineups. Andrew Luck, the redshirt freshman. Jeff Tedford, the Cal coach, calls him the most underrated player in the NCAA. Kelly, you and I have seen him a couple of times now. Very impressive young man.
The real deal. He's a big quarterback at 6'4", 235, but you know, wipe away that redshirt freshman status because he's made decisions as if he's playing this game at the major college level for a long, long time.
Now we're seeing the power set by Stanford. They've got 6 offensive linemen in there as McGillicuddy, now wearing 80, moves over. And here's Gerhart's first carry, and you can see how he just drags people up to about the 39-yard line. The Stanford offensive line, they call them the tunnel workers. They've combined for 94 career starts. It's a physical line, and that allows the skilled players to do what they do.
And the big play guy with the deep speed is number 81, Owusu, but also Ryan Whalen is probably the most complete receiver on this Stanford football team.
Brings up a 3rd down and short, only 2, when Toby Gerhart gets the ball on 3rd down. Over 80% of the time, they do get the first down. And he is in the top of the eye. And he's got the first down, and it's a foot race. To the 20, 15, 10. Toby Gerhart, 61 yards for the touchdown. That is his longest run of the year. his 20th touchdown for 2009. Heisman voters, please take notice. We've been talking about this guy for about 4 weeks now. He's finally getting the national attention. That's why he deserves it, Kelly.
Well, look at all the people in the box right there. And Stanford is so good, Ron, at the line of scrimmage, is sorting out that multiple look in the box. And I talked to you about one of the keys to the game is sorting that look out. That's a great example of it. You get a hat on a hat, and if you give Toby Gerhart some room to hit the field about 2 or 3 yards deep, he's going to make plays like that. And that's what Stanford does. They stress you by, when they put multiple guys in the box, you have to tackle well, and they obviously didn't do it on that play.
Well, that is his 20th touchdown of the year, and that ties touchdown Tommy Burdell's 1991 record. He's now only 1 away from the career mark of 37.
And Ron, I saw this on film where Stanford up front, they have a great ability to sort out the look, meaning the offensive lineman with a fullback and a tight end. They sort out all those guys in the box, and they still give Toby Gerhart clean looks at that second level, and that was a great shot of it on that play.
I mean, you think what Toby has done. He's over 400 yards the last 2 games. That's just remarkable. And now Cal will get possession of the ball. This will be Jeremy Ross from just above the 5-yard line. Takes a shot at the 19-yard line, gets to the 20. Toby Gerhart is almost embarrassed about the Heisman, and we talked to him about that yesterday.
I went to New York when I was 12 years old. And I went to the Heisman, what was it called? The Heisman Club, I guess it's called down there. And, I went in there, checked it out. That was awesome. At that point, it was a dream to go there. And, if I'm given the opportunity there, I'll be thrilled. It'd be an honor. And, that'd be probably one of the most defining moments in my life.
And hopefully by then he'll know it's the Downtown Athletic Club and the Nokia Theater, though. Well, Kevin Riley, he's going up deep looking for Marvin Jones, and it's overthrown. Cal offense, 7 wins. They average 41 points, and the losses just under 7. There's Kevin Riley, the 6'2", 221-pound junior out of Portland, Oregon. 20th start. He's 14-5 as a starter. He's tough and mobile. But, Kelly, we get the sense he's one of these quarterbacks. He's got to have this rhythm and get on pace for Jeff Tedford early in this game.
Exactly. Tedford knows that. And Ron Lynn, the defensive coordinator for Stanford, also knows that. So expect Stanford to get after Riley early and make him quicken his mindset in this football game.
And, of course, Shane Vereen stands behind him. 1st and 10. Here's Vereen's first carry. He's able to get close to the 25-yard line. Pickup of 3 on the play. Let's take a look at the Cal offensive line. Tepper at left tackle. He is the only senior on that line. Mitchell Schwartz at right tackle. Only a sophomore, but he's making his 24th start. And the skill position.
And Marvin Jones is the leading receiver, but it's multiple guys. They all have a similar skill set, and they just continue to rotate them through one right after the other.
Well, this brings up a 3rd down and 8. And Cal in the last 3 games only 28% on 3rd down. And they'll go from the shotgun. Ollie and Vereen alongside Riley. Looking, scrambling. He's got a little green in front of him, but he'll be well short of the 1st down. Tripped up at the 27-yard line by Shane Scove, the true freshman out of Piedmont, California.
Ron, we saw on that play early on, Ron Lynn for Stanford is getting a lot of guys on the line of scrimmage. And he wants to do that. He's a pressure type of guy as a defensive coordinator, but he hasn't always been confident at the back end coverage. He's getting more confident as this season has gone along.
And Brian Angers set to kick it away, the Ray Guy candidate out of Camarillo, California. There's a little bit of pressure, but he gets off a nice kick. Fair catch being called for at about the 34-yard line. So it was a pretty good kick. It covered 38 yards, no return, but what a start for Stanford. Toby Gerhart, 61 yards on the opening possession, his longest run of the year. And the Stanford Cardinal here on the farm lead their arch rival Cal by a touchdown. Stanford with a 7-0 lead early on here in the 1st quarter. The last 3 games, the Stanford Cardinal have scored more points than the entire 2006 season. That's been a pretty good little stretch here the last 3 games, hasn't it? But they have started fast this year. In fact, in the first half, they're outscoring their opponents by over 104 points. That's kind of their MO, especially recently because of that guy right there. It's Marisic and Gerhardt again on the eye, and here's Toby's carry, and this time he's going to be stacked up, but he's still able to drive the pile forward and pick up about 2 yards. And you know, we were talking to Jeff Tedford yesterday, and Bob Gregory, the defensive coordinator, and they were saying, you know, we watched tape of this guy. He gets hit, but he still gets 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, I think that's the key right there. Is I think Cal has to take the fight across the line of scrimmage, especially that linebacking level that we talked about at the open. They have to play what's called downhill, meaning you have to meet Toby Gerhardt on his side of the line of scrimmage. If you're meeting him on your side of the line of scrimmage, it's 2 that becomes 5 yards in a heartbeat.
Cal coming off a pretty good defensive performance against Arizona. Nobody's had success running the ball the last few games. Luck goes up top, had a man who split what looked like triple coverage, incomplete. Let's send it down to Lewis Johnson. Lewis.
Well, Ron, we mentioned at the top of the show Bob Gregory, the Cal defensive coordinator, saying they wanted to hold Toby Gerhardt to under 150 yards rushing. Well, they've already given up 61 on one play. And when he came over to the defense, came to the sideline, he just shook his head like, how in the world did that happen? Remember those keys, a couple of them, he said, that maintaining that technique throughout the game and being physical, those are the types of things that they're going to have to do. But wow, giving up 61 already. No panic over here on the Cal defense, but they're trying to figure out how to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Now, 4 straight opponents have rushed for under 100 yards against Cal. Now it's 3rd down and 8 for Stanford. Luck steps up in the pocket. This is where he's dangerous. Nice little move, and let's see where they mark it. They'll mark it right at the 45. That'll be good enough for a 1st down.
And Ron, what this constitutes in a redshirt freshman quarterback is a good decision. Nothing is downfield, and then he tucks it and knows where the 1st down yardage is, makes a nice play. But that's what you see with Andrew Luck. He's only completing 58%. I mean, only kind of the standard this day and age is a mid-60s. But a lot of his throws is play action pass, downfield type of throws, and also throwaways. All of that constitutes good decision making by that young man.
And watching the tape, he seemed to frustrate USC last week with his scrambling. Here's that play action. He'll step up in the pocket, goes to the left flat, and it's incomplete. Off the fingertips of Conrad Rulin, the junior out of Mission Viejo, California.
Brett Johnson on the coverage, one of those safeties. And I think that's also a key is play action pass off of Toby Gerhardt's physical run game is very difficult because in the secondary, you want to feel that run support to get that run fit, and you take your eyes off your keys. Bob Gregory talked about you have to keep your eyes on your keys, and in the end, your rules have to win out against that play action.
Well, that back end really has to be aware of that play action pass by Stanford. 2nd down and 10. Ball's on the 45-yard line. Gerhardt gets hit, drives forward, able to pick up about 2.5, maybe 3. Alualu had the first hit. Tyson Alualu, the senior out of Honolulu, Hawaii.
And Ron, this is actually a new addition. This is the true zone read, where Andrew Luck is reading the end man on the line of scrimmage, and in this case, it's a give read, and he gives it to Gerhardt. That's actually a new addition to the inside zone, the lead, the counter, the power, and then you also now have the zone read to worry about to defend Stanford defensively.
3 wide receiver set. Griff Whalen goes wide to the right on 3rd down and 7. Luck from the shotgun straight back. No pressure. Dumps it underneath. Pass is complete to Stephon Taylor, the true freshman out of Mansfield, Texas. He'll be about 3 yards short of the 1st down.
Cal is going to need to win, Ron, on 1st and 2nd down. Get Stanford in that 3rd and long, and then that running game kind of goes away. And I think Cal then takes the advantage because they do, I believe, have more speed, more athletic ability on the field.
Well, David Green came out quickly to punt the ball away, and Jeremy Ross calling for the fair catch at the 11-yard line. So that'll be a 36-yard kick, no return. Timeout in the 1st quarter. They are pumped up at Stanford. Just about About 6 minutes gone by here in the opening quarter of the big game, and Stanford leading Cal 7-0. Want to remind you, Wednesday, December 2nd on Versus, you'll find out what it takes to tackle the world's toughest sports jobs. Join NFL All-Pro linebacker Junior Seau as he does the jobs that make sports really work. Sports Jobs with Junior Seau series kicks off Wednesday, December 2nd, 10 o'clock Eastern, with 2 all-new episodes only on Versus. You know, you go back and look at the tape of last year's game between these two teams. One thing that stood out was Cal's ability to get their speed and space on offense. That's something I think they'd want this game too.
Absolutely. That's the game plan. I think Cal thinks they have that advantage speed-wise. A lot of tosses, reverses, misdirection, and make the Stanford defense change direction and try to defend that speed.
Well, they pulled out all the stops last year. Jeff Tedford very creative. Vereen doesn't go very far on that carry. We talked about Javid Best, what he did last year. 10 yards a carry, not too bad.
Yeah, about right at 10 yards. And that's exactly what Vereen has to bring to the table. But I think Mike Riley takes a bigger role today as well, Ron. I think the downfield passing game against Stanford's desire to have guys in the box and get pressure onto him, he has to be good downfield.
Well, the concussion obviously much better, but what's bothering him now, Javid Best, is his back. That's what's really keeping him out of this game. Riley looks right. Now he steps up. He's got a little bit of running room. Up to the 20 to the 22-yard line, and that'll be very close to the first down. Bo McNally coming up from the free safety spot to make the stop. Lewis, you were visiting with Javid Best before the game.
Yeah, I talked to him, and he said he's had lots of rehab this past week, kind of a day-to-day thing right now. He said as they get closer to their final game at Washington on December 5th, he said he'll make a decision. I said, does that mean there's a little window open to possibly play on December 5th? He said, maybe. So Best is really moving around a lot better. I noticed that he's moving his neck left to right a lot easier. So maybe December 5th.
Jeff Tedford said we're not even going to talk about the subject until Javid brings it up. Third down and short. Riley slips, falls, the ball is loose, and they will not get the first down. They're saying that Riley's knee actually touched back at the 18-yard line.
Well, when you get in third and really under a yard, and a lot of times the offensive linemen that are pulling right there get in the quarterback's feet. Riley got tangled up with the guard and tackle that were pulling and couldn't finish his footwork and deliver the ball to Vereen. But what a missed opportunity. Third and short, extended drive, allow your own defense to sit a while. All went under the bus on that play.
There we see Brian Anger, a good look at him. Drew Terrell, the true freshman on Chandler, Arizona. It is blocked. He won't get a chance to return it. Cal comes up with it, but it'll be Stanford's football. That's the second block of Anger's career. Ryan Whalen is the one who got the hand on it. Look at it again.
And it's just really right up the middle. Right there you can see that there's actually number 93 Thomas, I believe, that right up the gut. The center has his head down. A little swim to the left side of the center, and Thomas does a nice job of finishing the play. Sometimes, Ron, you don't know that you have the ability to finish, but just get your hands up, see where the drop point is by the punter, and just finish the play. Thomas did a nice job on that.
Well, Chase Thomas, the redshirt freshman, they are very high on this man, and now Stanford again knocking on the door, and here is Gerhardt. Left side, grab from behind, gets down to about the 16-yard line. Pick up a 3 on the play. Alualu again on the stop.
One of the other things that Jeff Tedford told us yesterday, Ron, is they have to win the special teams battle. They have to set up their own offense to get short fields and those type of things. And obviously that was disastrous on that play. Once again, your defense is out in a short field or field position situation for Stanford. They don't need that help.
Here's another switch in the formation. Now Gerhardt will go on the slot right side. They empty the backfield for Andrew Luck. Looks right, now left. Over the middle, pass is incomplete, intended for Ryan Whalen.
There's Michael Thomas in that nickel situation, empty backfield, and Whalen was just coming down running an option route. Nice job in coverage, but once again, Ron, the third and long situation, if Cal can continuously this evening get Stanford in that 3rd and long, they have a chance to win this battle here tonight.
Now they'll send 3 wide receivers to the right, including Toby Fleener, number 82. He's the farthest at the top of your screen. 3rd down and 8 from the 17. Luck, pump fake, looks, scrambles. He'll get the 1st down. He may get 6. He'll come up about a yard short. He has such presence in that pocket.
And the feel is going to be out this side of the pocket. Right-handed quarterback, a lot of times because of the way that the blocking scheme works up front, when you have to get out of the pocket to your left, there's a lot of time where the escape hatch is. Luck felt it, got out just in time, and made a big play for his offense.
And it's 1st and goal now from about the 1. He's the 2nd leading rusher on this team. A lot of movement by Stanford. Gerhardt in the eye, trying to go up 14-0. And he is stacked up and may even lose a yard. Nice penetration led by Mike Mohammed, one of the inside linebackers.
Mike Mohammed, Eddie Young, both of them right there, and that linebacking level is going to have to play really well today. Mike Mohammed, most tackles per game in the conference this year, but also he sets the strength for his defense. He's the one that basically has to quarterback against all this personnel and formationing by Stanford.
Marisik, the battering ram, is at the fullback spot. Here comes Gerhardt. Sees a little bit of an edge. Leans forward. Touchdown, Stanford. Toby Gerhardt has now tied Stanford's mark for touchdowns in a season with, or has taken the lead for that, but for a career with 37. Boy, you just can't stop him when he gets close. Nate Whitaker's extra point is good. Perfect on the year.
Cal wanted to get off to the good start today, but it's actually Stanford once again. Toby Gerhardt, if you want a guy to pay off a drive, Toby Gerhardt is your guy.
Now the winner of this game gets the axe. Made its first appearance in a Stanford-Cal baseball game back in 1899 and 1933. They decided the winner of the big game will get the axe. That's kind of like a razor blade on a stick.
That's a,
no
that's a big axe right there.
Yes, it is. Well, that's what they're playing for. And Jeff Tedford said, you know, when we lost in 2007, and they did not play well here at Stanford back then, he said our seniors then, they were crushed by losing the axe. They want to make sure they take it back to Berkeley today. Right now they're down by a couple of touchdowns. Here's Jeremy Ross. Looks for the right side. He's got a little bit of daylight up over the 25 to the 26-yard line. You know, we've already seen Toby Gerhardt with 2 touchdowns, but he carries a big class load. 21 hours, as a matter of fact.
Take an introduction to archaeology, investment science, high technology entrepreneurship, introduction optimization, and integral calculus.
Okay, I'll give you $5. You can tell me what one of those are.
Of course you take those.
Yeah, absolutely. 21 hours, and just an amazing young man. Brother Garth, of course, plays for Arizona State. And here is Vereen. That's his best effort of the afternoon. He gets up to the 40 to the 41-yard line. Howell comes up to make the stop. He had that 61-yarder last week versus Arizona, which kind of sealed that, but we saw his speed, and he's got kind of Javid Best speed.
You're right. Very similar. He's probably not as elusive. I think he's probably a little bit better between the tackles than he is out in open space. Javid Best, he has the speed, and he can make you miss. Not so much with Vereen, but that speed is similar in both of them.
Now they'll empty the backfield on 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Cal not having to panic yet. And here is Riley up to the 50-yard line. That'll be probably close to a 1st down. Howell runs him out of bounds. He gets a pretty good spot. probably about a half a yard short on that. But I think if you're Jeff Tedford now, you've been in situations like this. You have an offense that can put a lot of points on the board. You can't panic right now.
No, you just do what you're doing. There's obviously plenty of time left in this game. You just have to be more efficient. They hadn't picked up a first down on their first 2 drives or a third down conversion. That's the key. Cal offensively has to extend drives and possess the football themselves.
Now Stanford with 8 in the box. They go from the Wildcat. Here is Vereen. Gets up to the 50-yard line, which is the line of scrimmage, and I'm not sure he got the first down. He'll be close. Scove already with 3 tackles on the afternoon. Make that 4 tackles on the evening. And you look at number 11. He's a true freshman. Started the last 4 games. A former Prep All-American. You see him on tape, Kelly. He's active.
Yeah, he is. That's the word right there, Ron. He's active. I think Cal, conversely, they have to just do what they do. Jeff Tedford likes to run the football. That's really the staple of his program as well. They're very diverse, kind of a West Coast structure, multiple personnel groupings. We've already seen the Wildcat with Shane Vereen a couple of times, but they want to run it, and then they want Kevin Riley to be efficient in the pass game.
University of California, timeout number 1.
Cal's going to call a timeout. It was good enough for a first down with 3:23 left to play in the opening quarter. Well, Monday, November 30th, Thomas Vanek leads the first-place Sabres into Toronto to take on the Maple Leafs as the NHL continues on versus. Then on December 1st, the Blue Jackets skate into the Windy City to take out Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves, and the red-hot Chicago Blackhawks. The NHL is on versus. Well, now, right now, Cal is facing 1st and 10. Still a lot of time left here in the first quarter, but you look at their history this year, first quarter has been their most productive quarter.
Well, and Stanford is going to give you opportunities. Ron Lynn, the defensive coordinator, likes to play 8 guys in the box. He likes to attack the line of scrimmage. They play quarters behind them out of press coverage and to define the field by 4. There's opportunities in that pressure. Kevin Riley just has to be on tonight to take advantage of it.
Another 8 men in the box, and they split it with a pass caught by Tucker. He gets down to the 30-yard line. Nice read, though, by Kevin Riley, finding Baran Tucker, the senior out of Torrance, California.
Tucker, the outside receiver, is just going to run a slant route. And once again, with the deep safety, if you throw the ball on time, there's going to be running room after the catch. You can see 26. Howell coming down a little bit late. That's what Riley has to do. Put it on target and allow your guys to advance the ball after they catch it.
Now Tucker and Ross wide to the left. 1st and 10 from the 30. Riley will put it up again, looking. The deep sideline pattern, incomplete, intended for Ross. And we've got a little fisticuffs down at the 35-yard line. Big number 75, Matt Summers-Gavin, was tangled up. And the Stanford coaches are pointing to him.
And Jim Harbaugh was out there, I think, trying to get his guys off the field. Get him out of that melee, but it was Udofia, I believe, was the number 54, the Stanford player involved. But this was brutal. This could actually have one or both of those players ejected from this game.
Personal foul on the defense, number 54. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, I didn't see him start it. All I saw is the 2 wrestling around, and obviously Summers-Gavin getting a little help with the blood.
Well, the bridge of the nose took a beating on that, but Udofia, number 54, I think is probably just happy he's still in the football game, because he easily could have been tossed. It was well after the play, and it got ugly quickly.
And Summers-Gavin has to go out of the ball game, take care of that blood, and now it gives Cal great field position on the 15-yard line. Riley again from the shotgun. Looks right, trying to set up a little screen, little shovel pass. Sofale, he's got it inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line. That looked like that play was disintegrating.
No kidding. I mean, step up and pressure and shovel the ball to Sofale on that play. I mean, that absolutely, I guarantee you, wasn't the way it was designed, but in the end, it couldn't have been better timing. The pressure brought the quarterback up inside. The secondary kind of lost track of where the quarterback was, and Riley flips it to O'Fallon right at the right time.
Well, Easy looked a little surprised, and now Riley goes wide to the left. Vereen from the Wildcat formation. Lafelle in motion. Vereen keeps it, dancing around. Gets down to about the 2-yard line. The first hit, Udofia, from that defensive tackle spot as we close in on 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter.
And about everybody in the country, Ron, is doing this now. The Wildcat, that you put your ball carrier, taking the direct snap, you put your quarterback out wide to bring a fly motion to distract the defense, and in the end, your ball carrier, Green in this case, is still carrying the rock up the middle.
Well, Summers Gavin comes back in at left guard. Vereen again on the direct snap. Nice job, Stanford defense. They meet him at the 4-yard line and shove him back. It was Scove and Thomas, a true freshman and a redshirt freshman, leading the charge.
Basically, nobody is fooled. Vereen's getting the ball. He's their ball carrier. He can throw it off of that and has thrown it. But Stanford isn't going to respect any of the play action when your #1 ball carrier has the ball already in his hand.
This is a problem for Cal, finishing in the red zone, settling for field goals instead of TDs. Now Jones wide to the left. Everybody on the goal line for Stanford. Riley looks for Jones. Lofts it into the end zone. That is going to be incomplete. Matamosi on the coverage. Wasted opportunity by Cal.
Matamosi does a nice job. It's going to be a fade to the off shoulder. Normally that goes to the back pylon. In this case, he throws it really to the front one. Matamosi does a nice job of waiting for the receiver to tell you when the ball is in the area. When he reaches to catch it, that's when you defend and attack the ball at the highest point.
Well, Brock Manchin will be the holder. Giorgio Tavecchio will attempt the 21-yarder. And it is good. Now, a reminder, the NHL is on Versus Monday, November 30th. Vanek leads the Sabres into Toronto to take on the Maple Leafs. Then we take it to December 1st. The Blue Jackets take on the Blackhawks. The NHL is on Versus. Some great games coming up.
Ron, you talked about the red zone for Cal. That was one of the keys to the game at the top. We talked about that. They cannot settle for field goals. They did it against Arizona last week, and they got away with it. Last week against Arizona, they actually could have put that game away much earlier if they would have scored touchdowns instead of field goals in the red zone.
10 plays, 70 yards, 347. They had first down on 5 of those 10 plays, and that has to be disappointing for Jeff Tedford, because you say, okay, we points, but you get the penalty. Then you had the shuttle pass that was good for 13, and you can't push it in for 6.
Well, and I don't like the Wildcat. I like your quarterback down in the red zone to have the football. Green still could be the ball carrier, but your conventional base offense, and if you do go Wildcat, take Riley out of the game and put an offensive player in there that the defense actually has to defend.
Right.
I don't like the quarterback staying in there.
Well, they wanted to squib it, pooch it, and kick it long so Owusu wouldn't have a chance to take it back, but he's got the football. And he stood up at the 28-yard line. Let's take a look at the lows building towards the BCS. In Florida, a winner today, as is Alabama. Texas playing an embattled Kansas team tonight. TCU, Gary Patterson's team, continues to roll. Cincinnati is playing idle. And last night, Boise State took care of Utah State after. That was pretty close early on.
It was close early. Utah State did a nice job, and in the end, just too many horses for Boise State. But we're kind of headed for that showdown, the SEC champion against Texas, unless something very strange happens along the way.
Now, this is an important series, I think, for the Cal defense. Got to get the ball back. And here's Gerhardt, left side, got a 61-yard touchdown run already. And this time he gets a first down, close to the 39-yard line.
Well, Stanford likes obviously the power game with Toby Gerhardt, but they will pull an offensive lineman and lead this way. And then another, the H-back in this case, which is really just an extra tight end. All of those bodies at the point of attack, and oh, by the way, here comes a 250-pound back. Go ahead and try to tackle him as well.
And on that touchdown, it was funny, we were looking at the replay during the commercial, he put a forearm up and forearmed a defensive player. It wasn't like he hit him with his shoulder. There's Gerhardt again, and he takes a wallop right at the 38-yard line. Going underneath was Kendrick Payne, the redshirt freshman out of Klein Forest High School in Houston.
Browner, number 47, was in on that play as well. But that's the activity. Bob Gregory went to that 3-4. It's athletes being active. Cal has to live off that tonight.
Toby Gerhart, pretty good first quarter as he rushes for 84 yards and a couple of touchdowns. We head to quarter number 2. Stanford leads it 14-3. Along with Lewis Johnson, Kelly Stoffer, welcome back to the big game as Stanford leading Cal 14-3. Just think, this is a Stanford team that lost to Oregon State and Arizona a couple of weeks ago in back-to-back games, and people were writing Stanford off. I think they made a mistake on that one.
I think you might be right. I think that back-to-back wins against Oregon and USC were probably the best wins back-to-back by any team in the country this entire year.
Absolutely.
I mean, against two very quality football teams, but to dominate them like Stanford did, Oregon and USC was something to watch.
Jim Harbaugh said he's treating the last couple of games like NFL playoffs, and right now he's in the conference final. And his team facing 2nd and 10 from the 38-yard line, leading 14-3. High snap. Luck loses it, still loose, and I think Stanford got it back at the 30-yard line. Toby Gerhart wrapped his body around it. Luck looked up as he was trying to get the ball.
You got it exactly right. Luck is looking off to the right side. He's going to fake the zone read, or at least make the zone read fake to Toby Gerhart. Took his eyes off the snap. It was a little hot. That's why you always, as a quarterback, have to look the shotgun snap into your hand.
And the way he twisted as he got hit, I'm glad he didn't get hurt on that play. But that sets up a 3rd down and 18 now from the 30-yard line. Over 100 yards rushing in that opening quarter for Stanford. Luck straight drop, setting up a screen to Gerhart. He can't get the handle on it. Nice job defensively by a swarming Cal defense that time.
Well, and at the right time. I think Cal really needed their defense to come out and do something like that. Get them in long yardage, get off the field, and allow your offense to get out there and get some kind of a rhythm. Kevin Riley and that offense needs to find something that works for them.
Zaklinski is now going to kick it away. Ross standing back at his 30-yard line. He had a 76-yard punt return for a touchdown versus Washington State and won't get a chance on this one. It'll roll dead at about the 22-yard line, 48 yards on the kick. Now let's take it back to Cal last week. A big win over Arizona, and they were helped a little bit by Nick Foles, who, nice catch, Nick, but you can't throw it again. Penalty flag was thrown. They turned the ball over on the very next play. Say goodbye to Shane Vereen.
Remember, up to that point, it was 16-18, and then Vereen just closes the door. But it was 16-18. Could have been a lot worse, but again, that red zone, those 4 field goals, Cal has to be efficient in the red zone.
And here's Vereen. He kind of ducks underneath all the tackles, gets up to about the 29-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 7 on the play. Vereen, a sophomore out of Valencia, California. He said last week running back coach Ron Gould really prepared him to tote the ball 30 times. That's a lot of carries for a guy his size at 5'10", 198.
And he's pretty thick and plays the position with a good, kind of a good body lean, a good body position.
Vereen Tucker wide to the right. This time they go again from that Wildcat. Trying to get the first down, gets over the 30 up to the 31-yard line. Kaiser on the stop. Lewis.
Ron, Javid Best was telling me before the game he was so proud of the job that Vereen did last week against Arizona. He said the Cal running backs have this idea of chopping wood, that if you keep chopping, eventually the tree is going to fall. And Shane Vereen broke off that 61-yard touchdown late in the game. He said he doesn't have to say much to him because he knows what to do, and they need him now.
Well, on 3rd down and just a couple, and I don't think they got, well, one of the officials is running in and says he did get over the 33-yard line. Bo McNally on the stop, but that was close.
Yeah, Bo McNally comes from his safety position, that free safety that will fill right there. But good job, and this is the body position. You sneak through that hole. You got to get skinny sometimes at the line of scrimmage to get to that second level. Vereen does just enough to eke out that first down.
9 carries already for Vereen. in the ball game. He gets the first down. Now Riley's going upstairs on the far sideline, and that was not well thrown. The pass was intended for Marvin Jones, and Mr. Riley can only shake his head. If you were to design a perfect day in November, it would be today. It was a beautiful afternoon here in California, and tonight it's crisp, it's clear, and the pretzels look good.
No kidding. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful football weather. A little cool as the sun went down, but exactly on natural grass the way you're supposed to play this game.
That's second down and 10. Cal looking for something to go on offense. Kevin Riley out of Portland, Oregon, Beaverton High School. He said after last week's game he's got to be a little bit smarter. This time he rolls right. Pressure on the run. Comeback route incomplete. Should have been caught.
Tucker working his way down the sideline on the comeback route, the play action away, and he's just going to break it off and come back. A nice job of selling the deep route, but you have to finish. Your team needs you to make a play, Tucker. Look the football in. Nice route, nice throw. Not so much on the catch.
And now it sets up a third down and long. Cal only 1 of 4 on third down so far tonight. Straight drop. Here comes some pressure over the middle. Passes caught. First down at midfield. Anthony Miller. He has not played the last couple of games after undergoing arthroscopic surgery. He's a big target at 6'3", 258.
And the void's going to be in there in the big tight end. You can see Miller doing a nice job of holding his line down the field. The linebacker Scovey was on in that time. You hold your line and then you bust it off. Good timing between Miller and Riley, the quarterback.
And the sophomore from San Jose, California, a welcome sight back into Cal's lineup. Ollie moves back into the fullback spot. Green had a little bit of hole over that right guard spot, but Shane Scove looked like he may have just stuck out the leg. Scove already 7 tackles tonight.
He is. You used the word active on him, partner, a little earlier, and that's absolutely what that young man is.
Well, a capacity crowd on hand, over 50,000. Stanford 5-0 at home this year, 9-1 over the last 2 years. A far cry from when they were 3-16 from 05 to 07.
And Tucker out there is a matchup so far that Cal has liked. We'll see if Riley likes him on this play or when they throw the football again.
And they keep it on the ground. Here's Green, gets the first down to the 35-yard line. Howell finally trips him up. Watch the left side of the line here.
Summers Gavin is going to pull big number 75, and then you log the guy inside. Keep outside leverage, push inside. Green does a nice job of running right off of that left guard. Good fit up front. Remember, Cal is pretty young up front. They lost some very good players off the team a year ago. Those guys have gotten better week after week.
Well, I think the big tight end, Anthony Miller, got away with a little bit of hold on there. Looks like he was going to put a headlock on somebody.
Hey, brother, if they don't call it, it's not a penalty.
First down and 10. Here's Vereen again. He's the workhorse carrying the load, and he's also carrying a bunch of Stanford jerseys. Down inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. Udofia finally bringing him down.
Udofia from that 3-technique tackle position actually had Vereen at the line of scrimmage, but Vereen maybe is tired of hearing about all the yards after contact that Gerhard gets, and he actually made a very nice run, probably 4 yards, Ron, after he felt the first contact.
Of course, Jeff Tedford not calling the play, says he may suggest 4 or 5 a game. Andy Ludwig doing that. Second down and 5. Bosky Johnson now in the lineup, and he's got the football straight up the middle. Puts the pads down to the 16-yard line. Boy, he hit that hole so quickly. The redshirt freshman out of Chandler, Arizona.
And Cal will go in and out of 1-back and 2-back running. But watch the fullback's going to lead up. It's really just a true isolation play. Actually, they call it Bob, back on backer, and then Johnson takes it up inside. A very good block by the fullback, Brian Halling.
Boy, he lowered the boom on that, pickup of 13 on the play.
And you noticed his angle, too, kind of inside out, wanting his running back, Johnson, to run up inside of him.
And now Vereen back into the lineup. Cal actually with more yardage than Stanford in this ballgame so far. Little play action trying to set up a screen. Riley running away from everybody. He's is just going to toss it out of bounds. They were trying to set up the screen to Vereen on the left side.
And I actually think the screen was there. It's just the pressure by number 54, Udofia, was just a little bit too early. And it's a screen game, so open receivers, this guy right here thinks he's open, and you can see that he is. But remember, there are offensive linemen that are about ready to be called downfield if Riley was to throw that ball. Riley does a decent job of getting away from pressure and then throwing the ball out of bounds, not taking the sack.
2nd down and 10 from the 16. Deboski Johnson back into the lineup. Riley, straight drop. Looks, pass, tipped away, intended for Jones. Great defensive effort by Richard Sherman. We saw in the Arizona game, Sherman was picked on. This time he comes up with good D.
Jones is just going to run the skinny post. The ball's a little bit too late. You can see that when Jones looked back for that ball, the ball really needed to be hitting his hands about that same time. A little bit late by Riley allowed Sherman to come underneath and get his left hand on it.
But Kelly, here we go again in the red zone. They had great red zone field position a moment ago. Had to settle for the field goal. 3rd down and 10 from the 16. Got to get to the 6-yard line. 4-man pressure. Riley double clutches, throws, tip. Is it intercepted? Yes, it'll be intercepted by Stanford's Richard Sherman. I think they're going to look at it again. He had 2 interceptions in the 3rd quarter versus Arizona, only 3 coming into last week's game. Throws another pick here, maybe.
Stanford does a nice job of pushing that pocket, and Vereen gets his left hand on it, and Sherman jumps in and believes he picked this off. And the only thing worse than just getting a field goal in the red zone, Ron, is turning the ball over in the red zone if Sherman really did come up with that pick.
Well, we're going to take a break and get the results from the officials. Stanford leads it by 11. Cal looked like they were moving the ball as they had 7 rushes for 64 yards, but 0 for 4 passing on that last drive. That play was reviewed. It was confirmed. Stanford has the football, and Kevin Riley trying to get some answers from Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator upstairs, but Sherman with the pick. That is his 2nd of the year. Stanford takes over. Ball's on the 9-yard line. Little 3-step drop. Luck, quick pass to Whalen, complete. Close to the 1st down, and they'll mark it at the 20. That'll be good for 10. The Boofy on the coverage. You know, when you look at him at the line of scrimmage, you don't think redshirt freshman, do you?
You really don't. He makes very good decisions, and that's what Jim Harbaugh talked to us about this young man, is his mental ability. He approaches the game as if he's been playing at this level for quite some time, and it allows the play caller, Jim Harbaugh, to have a lot more confidence.
Number 1 of the Pac-10 in pass efficiency rating. Luck this time's pass tipped up in the air. Could have been intercepted, but it wasn't. Sidquan Thompson on the coverage. Pass was intended for Owusu.
Sidquan Thompson, a ton of experience in the secondary, and Luck doing a nice job off to the right side. It's just a curl route, come back, but Thompson actually ran the route better than the receiver did in Owusu on that play. Thompson is that big play guy in the secondary. Cal could really use some plays. Young man here this evening.
I wonder if Devin Bishop is kicking himself because Sidquan kicked it up in the air and Bishop had a chance at it. 2nd down and 10 from the 20. Luck under center. The pitch back to Gerhardt. He's got a couple of nice blocks on the outside. Skips over the first tackler. Gets up to the 25 to the 26-yard line. Pickup of 6 on the play. Mike Mohammed there. Also Sidquan Thompson went underneath him, but Toby Gerhardt, you talked at the top of the show. You go too low on him, he's going to jump right over you.
That's the nimble feet that young man has. We saw it in the scouting report at the top, and you don't think big backs typically have light feet, but Toby Gerhardt's a good example of it. If you go too low, which is the tendency, especially for defensive backs, you want to go low, he'll step right over you.
3rd down and 4 for the Cardinal from the 26-yard line. Now Luck doing some traffic directing outside. Whalen moving over to the left. Luck looking left, throwing left, deep out pattern is caught by Whalen. First down, Stanford, up to the 35-yard line. Gattuso on the coverage.
Whalen, once he got lined out right, is just going to outflank the defense. Number 9, the linebacker Eddie Young needs to continue to get width. There isn't anyone else out there. Once you have a threat in your zone, you have to expand with him, and Eddie Young did not expand with Griff Whalen on that play.
And that brings up a first down, ball square on the 35-yard line. Here's Gerhardt. Ever since that 61-yard touchdown scamper on the first possession of Stanford in this ball game, he's kind of been held in check. He only has 29 yards since then.
See, and
on 9 carries.
Yeah, and that's the key. If you can hold him around those kind of 3 yards a pop and really make him earn everything he gets and try to wear him down. If he's the workhorse of this offense, wear him down by not giving him the large chunks. And just that one time that so many guys were in the box for Cal, they couldn't get him down on the ground.
There's Bob Gregory, whose defenses for Cal the last 6 years have been in the top 6. Has led the conference in defense a couple of times. Luck steps up away from the first wave of tacklers, throws it into the Stanford bench. He's now 4 of 10 throwing the football. But you know, that's you look at that and you say, that's not a very good play. But you know, he completes 58% of his passes, and the reason being he throws some of those away instead of taking a chance.
Well, I asked Jeff Ted for that very thing. He said he's such an accurate passer, and I said, well, why is he only completing 58% of his passes? And he said 2 reasons. One, he throws downfield all the time, plus he makes good decisions and throws the football away. That was an example of it. The play action pass, 2-man route, and Cal just simply had everyone covered.
Well, 2 TDs, no picks or sacks versus USC last week. On 3rd down and 8, here comes some pressure. He steps up, passes bobbled and dropped, intended for Chris Owusu. Now, he had some problems holding on to the football earlier this year. We saw him with some key drops in the Arizona game.
Yeah, Owusu has put the ball on the ground a few times. Fleener, the tight end, kind of the pass-catching tight end, has dropped some balls as well. But that time, Luck felt the pressure, stepped up in the pocket, hit Owusu in stride, and Owusu just threw it to the ground.
And again, Stanford's going to have to kick it away. Here comes a little bit of pressure, and Cal peels it back. Fair catch is being called for, and the ball takes a sideward roll, but it's good for Stanford. And it'll roll down to the 15-yard line. Kick covers 48 yards. Tiger Woods, he doesn't mind the cold weather. He's the honorary captain, and his Stanford Cardinal have the advantage. 33-38 loss in just a moment ago. Facing another big play, Chris Owusu could not hold on to the football.
Yeah, Luck steps up inside, does a nice job, puts it on Owusu, and a little bit high, but not too high to catch the football. But it's just a matter of finishing the play. And you never know, Ron. You never know in a game what play is going to come back to make a difference. And you always want to convert on that 3rd down situation, and Owusu didn't get it done.
Well, Jim Harbaugh's squad has got the advantage, but Cal, the problem with them, they just have to finish. Been in the red zone a couple of times, only came away with 3 points. And Riley will go back upstairs. Pass is complete up to the 22-yard line. Alex Lageman, the sophomore out of Saratoga, California. That's his first catch of the afternoon. But you look at Riley, he is now, what, 4 of 12 throwing the football. You know, how do you get this guy in rhythm now?
You know, he hasn't looked comfortable. Stanford, like we talked about, was going to get pressure early to try to speed Kevin Riley's thinking up, and you've already seen that. He hasn't been comfortable, therefore he hasn't been accurate.
On the wins, he completes 63% of his passes, and the losses 44%. Marines having a nice night because he gets over the 30 to the 32-yard line. Let's check in with Lewis Johnson.
Right, I've been watching Kevin Riley. He was so frustrated 2 possessions ago when they came up to the sideline having to settle for a field goal, and even more frustration after having thrown that interception. But he's been talking with his wide receivers, talking with his line, trying to give them confidence that they'd get it together. Also overheard their running back coach telling Vereen to stay aggressive and make sure he wraps the ball up with all the heavy hitting out there on the field.
And that's Ron Gould, who prepared him for last week's adventure of 30 carries and 150-plus yards. First down and 10. Now a little flea flicker. They go back to Riley. Stanford reads it well, and he's going to another wasted play. Udofia was putting on the pressure. I don't think that had any chance from the get-go.
Well, I think because of the pressure, I think as far as downfield, there actually was a chance. Boateng was behind the secondary, and if Riley could have stepped into it and threw it early, there was a chance. But Udofia got the quick pressure. Riley had to scramble to his right and just throw the ball away.
Well, Jeff Tedford pulled off all the stops in last year's game between these two. I'm sure we haven't seen the end of flea flickers and reverses. On 2nd and 10 from the 32-yard line, Riley's pass complete to Marvin Jones. Gets close to the first down, then he is shoved back by Batamosi. See where they'll mark it. They'll mark it at the 41. That'll be just about a half a yard short.
Not a very good job of Jones knowing what his team needs right there. Chase the defender off, snap it off on the curl route, and then get the first down. He had the first down early, and then he gave it up. Field awareness, situation in the game, down and distance, all those things are figured into being a good football player.
Well, 3rd down and 1, and Cal only 2 of 6 tonight. Green got the first down. Up to the 44-yard line, still fighting for another inch or two. Masafilo on the first hit. They're glad to have him back, and you look at this Stanford defense, they've lost a couple of what the coaches call energy players, especially defensive coordinator Ron Lynn telling us you lose Quentin Snyder to the knee. Eric Lorig, of course, has been battling that groin problem. Masafilo missed a couple of games. Those are energy guys that they need on defense.
The productivity out of those guys, and now Masafilo is back, so that obviously helps. But the energy, the experience, and then all of those guys represent their big play guys at different levels on that Stanford defense.
Closing in on 4 minutes left in the opening half. One big play has kind of defined this today. Riley scrambling, gets to midfield, looking for the sideline, and finds it. They'll mark him out at the 48-yard line. Nice pickup. Howell running him out of bounds. He has 4 tackles today.
Well, that was another opportunity for Cal to try to get something big. The play-action pass, and it wasn't a dink and dunk play-action pass. Jeff Tedford was going for it. He had a seam route. He had a deep post route, actually a double move on one side. But again, the pressure didn't allow Kevin Riley to take a good look at it.
Well, almost 160 total yards here in the first half for Cal. They've got more yards than Stanford, but not more points. Now Riley, nice play. Thrown behind his intended receiver at the 35-yard line. That was Michael Calvin. Not a well-thrown ball.
Well, the boot, once again, play action, and then Riley's going to have 1, 2, 3 guys out there in different places, and I think the receiver could have set down a little bit. Calvin could have set down in that void. He was really kind of moving out of it when his quarterback wanted to put it on him and set him down in that open spot.
Well, another 3rd down play for Cal. 3rd down, they need 2. Less than 50% today. Riley looks for a quickie to the left. Gets away from the first wave, and he'll get the first down to the 42-yard line. Thomas Kaiser tries to wrap him up, but Riley's able to fall forward. And Cal has had a couple of drops already this evening.
We talked about Shane Vereen in the pass or in the run game, but in the pass game, Cal has to click. They have to be two-dimensional. They don't have Toby Gerhardt that can just grind it out. They have to get something out of their pass game. Guys have been open. Riley's put it on them. You have to finish a play.
Last 2 drives, they were 10 for 70 yards, 12 for 62 yards. They came away with 3 points. They're on a nice drive now. This is the 9th play. And the play action. Riley's got some time. He's going for the home run ball down the middle. Has a man. Lofts it up in the air, but it'll be swatted away. Pass was intended for Tucker. Sherman, who already has a pick tonight, knocked it away, and the ball just seemed to hang in the air.
And Cal isn't just play action passing to try to pick up a first down. It's play action pass. Tucker's going to come in on this side running the deep post route. That ball has to be driven. It was late and it hung on him and allowed the defender to come in and make a play. Drive the football and get rid of it earlier, and that's a touchdown for Cal.
Second pass broken up tonight by Sherman, and as we mentioned, he's got a pick. 2nd down and 10 from the 42. 3:03 to play in the half. Riley into the flat, outstretched hands, passes complete to Loggeman. Let's check in with Al Trautwig, Pac-10 update with Oregon and Arizona.
Okay, Ron, Jeremiah Masoli calls his own number on the fake handoff. Arizona bites in. He's into the end zone. 7-0 for the Ducks. Back to you and Kelly.
All right, that's got the major Rose Bowl implications on the line. Here comes Cal again, another 3rd down play, Kelly.
And they like Loggeman, number 5, matched up on Scove, the linebacker, but now Stanford is going nickel and taking that linebacker out of the game.
3 wide receivers to the right. Vereen joins Riley in the backfield. They're going to put it up on 3rd and 2. Throws the strike inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line to Loggeman.
Cal likes what they found inside with Loggeman in that slot position. And this is just actually going to be a double move. Good protection inside. You always obviously have to have that. And then Loggeman makes an outside move on the linebacker and then comes underneath late. Good job of running a route, and Riley finds him once again.
3 catches for Loggeman on the evening and a fresh set of downs as we go inside of 2 minutes left in the half. An important possession for Cal. Here's Vereen. Looks for running room over the right side. He's inside the 10-yard line. Fights his way down to the 6. That is just pure effort by Shane Vereen. His 15th carry of the opening half.
Cal going to their fly motion with Savali, number 20. That quick motion kind of keeps the attention of the second level mainly for Stanford. And then here comes Shane Vereen on the zone run right up inside, a very hard in between the tackle runner.
3rd time in the red zone for Cal. Vereen again. Takes a big hit as he gets down to the 2-yard line, and he is down. Clock at 1:17 and running. Sherman with a big hit. Vereen taking some punishment as Jeff Tedford knows they need 7 on this, not 3.
But I really like the fit that Cal is getting up front. You see a hat on a hat. You hardly see any penetration by Stanford's front 7. That's a great sign for Cal, but it means nothing if you can't finish with a touchdown right here.
From the 2-yard line, Vereen leans forward. Touchdown, Cal. His 8th rushing touchdown of the year, and he tightens the noose a little bit on Stanford.
And I don't know about you, partner, but Shane Vereen is a hard runner. The yards after contact, all the tackle that he's broken today, he pushes the pile himself. He doesn't have the weight of Toby Gerhart or the reputation, but he can run the football very hard up inside.
14 plays, 85 yards, 5 minutes and 47 seconds.
Well, Shane Vereen is saying, hey, guys, jump on my back, and I will get it done. You can see right here, he has a good teacher in Best, one carrying the load for the other.
In California.
All right, thank you so much, Al. Get your pens and pencils out, because this is how Stanford gets into the Rose Bowl. The Cardinals beat Cal. Arizona beats Oregon. Oregon beats Oregon State. Arizona loses to Arizona State or USC. A test will be given later on in the evening. So that's why this game is huge for Stanford. But
yeah, basically winner, you have no shot.
There you
That's
go.
how you can summarize
That's how it is.
Right?
And Cal this time will go with a little squib kick. Owusu, though, able to pick it up at the 9-yard line. Hops over a first tackle, gets up to the 27-yard line. Chris Conti coming up to make the stop. He's got some great history in the big game. We mentioned 1892 was the first time it was played. Cal's won 6 of the last 7, but Stanford had that 7-game win streak, 95 to 2001. Then Jeff Tedford, of course, took over at Cal. How about that? 21 points.
Yeah.
Separate the 2.
And all those little traditions that you see when we're here for a few days, and the axe committees and the bonfires and all the different things that these 2 teams do. It's a neat rivalry.
And something called the gaieties, which a person on the airplane told me you don't want to go to. Don't know what she meant by that. Here's Luck. He's got some running room again, and not afraid to take the hit as he gets up over the 30 to the 34-yard line. Devin Bishop on the stop. Just a reminder, coming up at halftime, the Nissan Heisman Watch. And hopefully somebody will mention number 7 for Stanford. Here comes the pressure on Luck. Finds Gerhard, who can't get the handle on it. We were talking during the break, and you said, you know, I really like the way Cal's defense is playing right now.
If you take the 61-yard touchdown run away from this picture, I think Cal has done a nice job. I think the run fit up front. They're getting decent penetration by their front three. Their linebackers are very active. And more importantly, the play-action pass coverage on the back end by Cal's secondary has been impeccably good. So I like everything I've seen, minus 1 play.
Toby Gerhardt's got a couple of bobbles and drops tonight. He only has 8 receptions on the year with 16 left. They give him back to his bread and butter to stop the clock with 10 as he gets the first down up to the 44-yard line. You know, we were talking about the Nissan Heisman pick, and I finally have convinced my partner to put Toby Gerhardt in there.
It's been about a month and a half.
Yes, it has been.
And I really like the quarterbacks, obviously, and I think there's kind of their sentimental favorites out there, and I think those two guys are it. Ingram doing a nice all-around job for a team in the title hunt, but Gerhardt, the way he's put his team on his back, incredible games against Oregon, USC. Ron, the Heisman is a team award, not an individual award, but it's about the context in which your season plays out. Right now, Toby has that stage ahead of him. He has Notre Dame still down the road, so he has a lot of football left to play and a big stage left to play it on, so that young man could be a legitimate contender for this trophy.
You look at what he's done. He's already over 100 yards. That's 18 100-yard games, most in Stanford history. I love Colt McCoy and Tim Tebow, but well, I tell you, just watching Toby Gerhardt this year has made me a believer in him. 11 seconds left, 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Cal in a big prevent defense, and for the second time tonight, Andrew Luck can't get the handle on the ball after the snap, and that'll probably do it. Little problem there getting the ball, and Jim Harbaugh is going to head to the locker room. They struck first on their opening possession, a 61-yard touchdown scamper by Toby Gerhardt. Cal has been in the red zone 3 times. They've come away with a field goal and a touchdown. Let's send it down to Lewis.
All right, thanks so much. Jim, why don't you give me your thoughts on the way you started this game, Toby Gerhardt with 2 rushing touchdowns.
Well, we started fast. Now we got to get their rushing game stopped. They're moving the ball on the ground on us and doing a good job mixing it up. So did not like that last drive.
All right, what's the difficulty, the challenge in trying to keep California's offense in check?
Well, you got to stop the running game. First and foremost, you got to stop. You can't just let them drive and drive and drive and drive down the field on you.
So, all right, thanks, Tim.
Okay.
Ron?
All right, Lewis, both teams 124 yards rushing. But Toby Gerhardt, 12 carries, 101 yards on the ground, 61 yards on the touchdown. We are at intermission of the big game, and Stanford leading Cal 14-10. Now let's send it to Al Troutwig for the Geico halftime show.
If you don't want to leave, I'm standing tall. You always gotta leave a little for the fallout, the fallout.
I want to thank Mike Falzone for all the music throughout the year. Great job, my friend. Welcome all the alumni clubs of Cal and Stanford from Baltimore, Maryland, all the way to Japan, and also our armed services. Noah Kelly Stoffer. Yeah, Stoffer, I'm Ron Phillip. 14-10 our halftime score. We look back at the first 30 minutes, and one of the things I think that stands out to both of us is that Cal is actually controlling in the trenches right now.
Absolutely. Both sides of the ball. Cal is getting it done, and I think that's why they have a chance here. They've been more physical on the line of scrimmage. That's where the game starts.
Well, it was an electrifying first possession, obviously, for Stanford, because Toby Gerhardt takes a touchdown, 61 yards, but look what he did after the first 2 carries.
Yeah, since then, 10 rushes, 35 yards, and Cal has dropped the football, and their passing game is going to have to get it done in the second half if they have a chance or want a chance to win this football game. And then Vereen has been the guy. 17 rushes, 81 yards. Remember what Best did against this Stanford defense and their structure a year ago. Vereen's off to that same start here in that first half.
And I think if you're Stanford right now, you are used to ball control. Right now, you are not winning the time of possession. 2 of your 3 losses this year, if you're a Cardinal fan, you didn't win the time of possession.
And let me tell you why. On first down, Stanford has 31 total yards. 100 yards total on first down. If you win first down, you possess the ball because it puts you in better second and third down situations.
Longest drive for Stanford, 7 plays. That was it, and they're used to long drives. Cal's going to get the ball first. Nate Whitaker will kick it off, and a driving kick near the near side. Jeremy Ross from about the 1-yard line. Being pitched by the sideline. Penalty flag comes in as he gets up to about the 18-yard line. This will probably be against Cal, and it is. And that'll give him terrible field position to begin the second half. Just a moment ago, Lewis Johnson caught up with Cal head coach Jeff Tedford.
Jeff, Toby Gerhart got loose for a couple of touchdowns there, but they really shut him down in the second half. Can you talk about that second quarter and how you slowed their offense?
Yeah, I thought we did a nice job of gang tackling, and that's what you have to do. And you got to do the same. There's a lot of game left, and he's a great back, so we got to continue.
Now, your red zone offense hasn't gotten what you've wanted. You've had some drop passes offensively. What did you all discuss about getting this offense going?
Well, we got to make some plays. That's what it comes down to. There's been some balls we should catch. We got to make some plays. Go up and get the ball.
All right, thanks.
They've had 5 possessions 3 times in the red zone. They go from the Wildcat. Vereen has stood up on the first hard hit by Howell. He's got 10 tackles already in the ball game. The sophomore from Newhall, California.
Starting in that Wildcat to try to establish that physical mentality here again in the second half if you're Cal. But Jeff Tedford talked to us, Ron, about the importance of field position, and Cal's going to have to pick up at least a couple of first downs to try to flip this field starting in a backed up situation.
Now Ross goes in motion wide to the right. Riley claps his hands, wants the football, fires the strike. First down over the 20 up to the 24-yard line. Nice catch by Jeremy Ross out of Sacramento, California. Just a junior. Had a huge day versus Washington State. 230 all-purpose yards.
And out of the bunch situation, you have a receiver going down the middle in the seam, and you have Ross just running a hook route. You have a pattern out in the flat. Right now in that 3-man situation, kind of 3 on one side, 1 on the other, Cal is finding something to work with in the pass game.
Stanford empties the safety position wide open, but Cal goes with a run, and Vereen takes a hit at the 28-yard line, able to pick up about 4 on the play. Thomas Kaiser on the stop, a sophomore out of Wexford, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh. But I like the play calling right now by Andy Ludwig.
I do. I think there's kind of a nice feel to it, a nice rhythm. And one thing you like as a play caller is right now on the line of scrimmage, the offensive line is getting a very good fit in that run game.
There's a pickup of 4 on first down. Here's Vereen. Maybe gets about 3 more. That'll set up a second or third down in about 2. You know, we talk about Andy Ludwig, the offensive coordinator. Last 4 years was part of the undefeated Utah team, and when he was at Utah. But he and Jeff Tedford speak the same language, don't they?
Yeah, Andy 2 different times followed Ted to Fresno. Jeff Tedford left to Oregon, and then Andy Ludwig ended up in Oregon. Jeff Tedford left there. So they speak the same language because they've been in similar systems a few different times in their careers.
And it is third down and just over 2 yards. Riley rolls out, throws back, got Marvin Jones for a first down, up over the 40 to the 44-yard line. Mark on your calendars December 19th versus returns to the cage. 6 fearless Warriors, 1 destructive night, led by Donald Ciccone and Ed Ratcliffe, battling for a title shot, plus a bone-crushing lineup featuring the world's top bantamweight contenders. Njokuani and Horadeki. Yaya versus Benavidez. 3 explosive WEC fights live December 19th at 10 Eastern, only on Versus. They just rolled off my tongue, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. You did a great job with those.
Riley on first down. The deep out pass is caught by Skylar Curran, the tight end. He gets down to the 35-yard line. That was probably Kevin Riley's best thrown ball of the evening.
And very well disguised because Skylar Curlin is actually the tight end on the side away from that bunch of receivers. So if you consider the bunch of receivers to the left, the defense is thinking if they throw a pass, it's probably going to come out of that package. And here Curran comes, dragging dragging across from the other side of the field.
Well, he had a reception versus Arizona. That's his first reception in 3 games, and he gets another one tonight. And 1st and 10 from the 35, back to the ground game. Oh, what a nice job by Vereen. He should have been dropped for about a 4-yard loss. Shave Scove did not wrap him up completely.
And the mark of a good back is how many times you prevent or keep your team out of negative plays. And there's a great example of it. That should have been -3 or 4 like you said. Instead, it's a positive 3 yards. That's what good running backs do. Keep you out of negative situations.
And Vereen closing in on 100 yards on 21 carries. Cal with only 2 negative plays this evening. 2nd down and 7. Riley steps up, gets away, still on his feet, throws to a wide open receiver and short hops it. Intended for Lagavin. Riley doing a nice job, Kelly, of just getting away, but he had a guy that was wide open.
Yeah, an empty back situation, and there was pressure. Riley did a nice job of getting away to the right, but hurried just a little too much. Kind of cut through the ball, kind of in between steps, and threw it right into the ground.
And another 3rd down situation for Cal. 60% tonight. Tucker goes wide to the right. Marvin Jones to the near side. Ball on the right hash mark. And you can see Cal running out on the field saying, we want a timeout. We want to talk about it. That'll be their first timeout of the 2nd half. We will take a break also. 10:56 left in quarter number 3. We're at the big game in California. All part of the Nissan Heisman Trophy Tour, which was earlier today. Well, Cal has been able to sustain drives. Their last 3 drives, Kelly, 10, 12, and 14 plays. This is number 9 of this drive. They're holding on to the football.
And they've been successful because their average on 3rd down to gain was only been 4.4 yards. Now they're looking at 3rd and 7.
Loud. Riley, 4-man pressure, steps up, throws, pass is caught at the 22-yard line. Anthony Miller, his 2nd reception, coming off the knee surgery, his 1st game back. That was huge.
Good-looking player, 6'3", almost 260 pounds. It's just a matter right there of a rebound. Keep your big body in front of the defender until the ball arrives. That's what Anthony Miller does. You can see the defender has nothing to do but try to get over the top. Does Bo McNally on that play, and he just couldn't get there in time.
Boy, that was a heck of a catch and a big 1st down reception. Riley looks again. Scrambles, throws, pass it complete inside the 10-yard line down to the 8, and it's Vereen Tucker. That's his 2nd catch of the evening, and Cal is showing us some offense.
Well, what they're showing us, Ron, is remember we talked about Jeff Tedford wants to get our speed out in space. That's what we're seeing right now is Andy Ludwig is doing a good job of formationing personnel groups and getting Cal's speed one-on-one and in favorable matchups against the secondary of Stanford.
See the numbers on Riley on this drive, 5 of 6, 71 yards. We sometimes like to throw a screen on this, but Riley throws it up, and that's overthrown, intended for Jones. He thought he was held. We do have a penalty flag thrown.
Yeah, he was.
He turned around quickly.
You're exactly right, and I think it was at the linebacking level, or actually the nickelback, Richard Sherman, inside on the double move. Jones was going to the post.
The pass being thrown, holding on the defense, number 26. Penalties in 4th, half the distance to the goal, automatic 1st down.
We thought it was Sherman, maybe it was Howell, number 26, but inside the double move right there, sit down and then go, and Howell reaches out with his right hand. It was Sherman over the top and Howell underneath. Good route on that play by Marvin Jones.
And it's 1st and goal now from the 8. 4th time in the red zone for Cal tonight. Green straight up the middle, goes for 6, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cal. Stanford had a 14-0 lead, and now Cal has taken the advantage 16-14 with the extra point to come. Javid Best on the sideline can only watch, but his team has been impressive on offense, and we've got a player that looks injured at about the 4-yard line or 3-yard line. Stanford trainer's out.
That wildcat formation where Vereen gets that direct snap has been pretty good for Cal here tonight. A good change of pace. And then number 75, Summers Gavin, does a great job right here. He will pull and lead up. Vereen just kind of hesitates and then gets up in behind him. But the big boy, Summers Gavin, just absolutely unloads.
Well, I tell you, Summers Gavin, redshirt freshman out of San Francisco St. Ignatius, he's having a heck of a game.
And the foot movement by Summers Gavin, the big offensive lineman at almost 300 pounds, to get square in the hole, Ron, is the key. Get your pad square, and then Vereen just basically runs off your backside.
Well, Howell was the injured player, but he ran off under his own power, so he's okay. DeVecchio with the extra point. They had a bobbled snap last week, and he missed an extra point, but not this time. Now Vereen with the touchdown, and with that, Cal has taken their first lead of the game, 17-14. We welcome you back to Stanford, a beautiful campus, a beautiful evening for football. Cal has taken the lead. They're eligible for a bowl for a school record 8th consecutive year. 6 straight bowls, 4 consecutive bowl victories. And right now they lead their arch rival Stanford in the big game, 17-14. Lowen Lewis Johnson and Kelly Stoffer, Amron Thulu. Vecchio, this time he has a little squib, but Owusu's always been able to pick it up. This time from the 15, breaks through. Look out. And he is caught from behind, but not before he gets down to the 45, and a penalty flag comes flying in. Looks like DJ Campbell made the stop, but Owusu gets up a little limping, but he is explosive. He's already taken 3 back to the house this year. And the officials are going to meet and talk about this.
After the play, personal foul on the team, number 8, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Talk about some field position.
Yeah.
And we knew Cal would do this. Short kick, deep kick, and squib kick, and it takes a good bounce right up to Owusu, and he really meets that wedge in stride, and he has the speed, obviously, to take it to the house. He's done it multiple times this year, but Cal did not need that to happen right now.
Absolutely. Well, Owusu, number 1 in the Pac-10 in kickoff returns, number 3 in the NCAA, averaging over 34 yards. Tack on the penalty, and Stanford begins 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. 3-man front again for Cal. They give it to Toby Gerhardt. He is stacked up. He's going to be pushed back. He'll lose about a half a yard. That's all. Cameron Jordan on the stop, the junior out of Chandler, Arizona.
And this is the new play. It's a zone read. The quarterback is reading the in man on the line of scrimmage. If he jumps down inside, the quarterback should be taking it around the end. Either that was a designed give, or Andrew Luck did not make a very good read on that play. There was running room out around the edge.
Well, last week, Kelly, we saw that the offensive line of Stanford didn't allow any penetration by USC. They're allowing that tonight. Loss officially of a yard. The 3rd time the snap has been bobbled. I'm not sure he was outside the tackle on that.
I think they're going to rule that there was a receiver, Jim Dre, standing there in the vicinity, which I think will bail Andrew Luck out.
Okay, quarterback, tell me what's happening here. This is the 3rd time this has happened.
Well, they're coming hot, and they're not accurate. That one is off to Luck's right, and that one was low, one was high, and that one's off to the right. And I think Chase Beeler right now is having issues snapping that football. It's a little hot, plus it's not accurate.
Now 3rd down and 11 after getting outstanding field position. Dre moves wide to the left. Cal shows blitz. They only bring 4. Plenty of time for Luck. He tucks. He shovel passes it, and it's incomplete. Pass intended for Gerhardt. Devin Bishop, though, was there. And Jim Harbaugh has great field position, and now they're going to have to settle for a field goal attempt.
And for one of the few times all year, Andrew Luck looks like a redshirt freshman on this drive. Right here, Toby Gerhart doesn't figure into, he's not even looking at it right there at the end. He doesn't figure into the pass game much. He doesn't have a great feel of it. Andrew Luck needs to know that. He forgot it on that play.
And they're going to attempt the field goal of 45 yards. Bo McNally is the holder. Whitaker the kicker. Good snap. And that's not going to even have a chance. What a job by Jeff Tedford's Cal Bears.
Where did that drive start, partner? Do you remember that? What was the 27-yard line?
And you come up with nothing.
Nothing. That's a great job by Cal's defense.
The momentum has shifted in Northern California. Last drive for Cal, Kevin Riley, very impressive.
We talked about Kevin Riley, and specifically Cal's passing game has to be very good tonight. Riley was incredibly sharp on that last drive, finding tight ends, finding wide receivers, throwing good ball placement to his receivers was the key. There were some tight spots to throw in, and Kevin Riley didn't miss a one.
And then the defense takes over. This is a Stanford team that's averaged over 500 yards the last 4 games. They've got 142 now. Cal has doubled them in yards, almost doubled them in time of possession, and they've got the football again. Now Riley under center. And they're getting big chunks of yards. Vereen took the snap directly again. That's been effective tonight. You can see the numbers on the last drive of Riley. He looked a little shaky at the beginning of the game, but he really has settled down since.
Yeah, that's a great point. He settled down, and that's what you saw on that last drive. He made some difficult reads, threw into some tight places, and really didn't miss a beat.
This is an offensive coordinator's dream. You pick up 5 yards on first down, you stay ahead of the chains. Vereen looking at least to get back to the line of scrimmage. Let's send it back to Al Troutwig with a Pac-10 update. Al. All right, I don't think Stanford cares about that game right now because they got their hands full here. Mike Stutzo trying to continue what he is building in Arizona. Congratulations to him. Great battle down in Tucson. 3rd down and 5 after no yards on that last carry, and Vereen goes wide to the right. Here comes the blitz. Riley, the quick pass to Vereen. He's got the first down over the 40, up to the 43-yard line. Sherman was on the coverage. And when you look at Vereen, he had 18 receptions coming into this game. He is a dangerous receiver.
And Richard Sherman, number 9, was over top of him in coverage and gave him a little bit too much respect. Remember, Vereen truly has good 100-meter track type speed. Sherman, number 9 on your screen right there, was too soft. That's too easy on 3rd and 5. That's Riley's first read. You move Vereen out there late. If it's soft coverage, just rise up and throw it out there.
Yeah, Vereen caught a long touchdown pass from Riley last year in the big game. Nabosky Johnson up over the 45, up to about the 47-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 3 on the play. Thomas Kaiser very active from that defensive end spot tonight. He's got 4 tackles, but the play calling seems to be in rhythm. We talk about quarterbacks getting in rhythm. I think play callers have a little mojo working too.
No question about it. I mean, that is a great point, and Andy Ludwig is feeling that right now. It's a good mix between run and pass, pass on first down, play action pass, but you're exactly right. The play caller right now is feeling it for Cal.
2nd down and 3. They go for the Wildcat again to Vereen. Bouncing to the outside, using his speed. He's got the outside. Inside the 30. Finally strolls out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 18 after a pickup of 30.
What we saw on the running play before this one was Stanford was really starting to close down on that counter play. Out of Wildcat, the one before, but this one, it's bouncing outside. Once the defense starts to squeeze things down, Vereen has the ability to bounce it outside and then make you pay for that, and that's a good look at it.
This is kind of reminiscent of last week versus Arizona. Vereen and Cal got stronger as the game went on. Nabosky Johnson now in for Vereen. sent to Sufele. And he gets inside the 10-yard line, and that's where they'll mark it at about the 9.5.
Sufele has been that guy on what we refer to as the fly sweep, that quick motion underneath to be a distraction. A lot of times it's window dressing, but just when you forget about it, they snap it quickly and give it on that reverse. That's the first time we've seen it this afternoon or this evening.
He's got a little James Rogers in him. And
he really does, and a little guy. I mean,
he sprints when he goes in motion.
Yeah, 5'7", $170.
Nothing doing on that. They needed two going underneath the pile. Nick Macaluso, the junior out of Middleton, New Jersey. That's only the third time we've called his name, and we've got a Stanford player down at the 10-yard line. And it may be Nick Macaluso. I want to remind you that hockey fans, this is your home for hockey because the NHL is on Versus Monday, November 30th. Thomas Vanek leads the first place Sabres into Toronto to take on the Maple Leafs. Then on December 1st, the Blue Jackets head to the Windy City to take on the red hot Chicago Blackhawks. The NHL is on Versus.
And Ron, you talked about Macaluso is, we believe, the player down. He's already filling in for Clint Snyder, really the heart and soul move guy in that middle. Owen Maricic is his backup. Remember the fullback name? And he's in there now. We'll see him. You don't see many athletes playing offense and defense. We're about to see one in number 48, Owen Maricic.
It may have been his old teammate rolling over on Macaluso. Maricic, by the way, had a start at linebacker in the Oregon game.
But Clint Snyder got hurt, and Macaluso is in there, and now it's down to Owen. Man alive, you get thin real quick.
And it's third down and 1. Going from the Wildcat. Vereen's got it. Looks for the 5-yard line, and I think he's got it. That'll be a first and goal from the 5. Cal closing in on 400 yards total offense. They're at about 365 now, only 142 for Stanford.
On the line of scrimmage right now, Cal is doing a great job. Take a note at how little penetration you see by any red jersey. Cal is controlling the line of scrimmage in a multitude of different run plays, but the heart and center of it is the line of scrimmage.
5th time in the red zone, direct snap to Vereen. They've scored touchdowns the last 2 on first and goal from the 5. Chase Thomas, his 3rd stop tonight. As we close in on 4 minutes left here in quarter number 3, but it has been all Cal as we look at Owen Maricic. You know, Jim Harbaugh can't say enough about him. All Pac-10 honorable mention 2 years in a row for fullback. He's the physical ID of this team, he says.
Yeah, the physical identity. He meant at the fullback position, but now he's at that middle linebacker position right here.
2nd and goal from the 3. Vereen leans forward, waiting for the signal. There it is, touchdown Cal. Shane Vereen closing in on 30 carries, and we're not even in the 4th quarter yet. He's at 29 carries, 149 yards.
And up front, once again, you see Cal, just a zone running play. You get a double team at the line of scrimmage, get movement and try to get to that 2nd level. And Vereen is doing a nice job, Ron, of being patient and finding softness. And I think he held that ball over the end zone line. I think it's going to be upheld for a touchdown.
Well, they are going to take a quick look at it, but Shane Vereen, the sophomore out of Valencia, California, had 154 yards on 30, or 159 yards on 30 carries. Last week versus UCLA at 154 yards rushing.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
And Shane Vereen is putting on a show tonight, his 3rd touchdown, and the Axe may be staying in Berkeley, but there is plenty of time left in this football game. But Stanford's got to do something on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're getting whooped.
They're getting beat right now.
They're getting whooped, taken out back to the woodshed and getting whooped.
And the extra point is good. Let's go back to that drive, Kelly.
Well, as Stanford started to close things down, it was only a matter of time before Vereen's speed got to the outside. The Wildcat is the play that does it. Vereen sees it. He bounces outside. The good movement, good recognition, but then the speed and the good movement up front by Cal's offensive line. They're getting a good fit, and then the finish. You can see the ball right there. Finish it. Penetrates that end zone line. But right now, Cal on both sides, defensive line, offensive line of scrimmage, are absolutely winning that battle hands down. You know, Ron, the other thing is you make Stanford come from behind, and Gerhard is more and more removed from the game plan. That's very important to keep an eye on as well.
And Jeff Tedford's team is known to have great fourth quarters. That's one of their stronger quarters. That's not Stanford's strong suit. 24 unanswered points right now for Kevin Riley and the Cal Bears. Well, they have to stop him here, though, because they really haven't been all that good on kickoff coverage tonight. Tavecchio, this time he tries to line drive one, and Owusu's still going to get it at the 13-yard line. And again, he breaks through. This time he takes a wallop at the 30-yard line, stood up by Michael Kendricks. Time now for the Sports Authority dedicated to the dedicated player profile. We just saw him on defense on Marisik. Actually, when he takes off his helmet, he's got a little Sammy Hagar hair working. Not in that picture. An outstanding football player, and people cannot say enough about him. He has been an incredible player for this team. His hero, he says, is Roberto Clemente. And we have a player down at the 25-yard line. And I think it's a Cal Golden Bear. I'm not sure who it is. Looks like Josh Hill, the redshirt freshman out of Houston, Texas. A cornerback. And he is slow to get up. Looks like that left shoulder looks a little ginger there. And he's going to go off with 3:44 to play in quarter number 3. Watch behind the return. I think you'll be able to see the collision. Oops. Yeah, there it was. Right to the left of your screen there. And now Stanford takes over. Closing minutes of quarter number 3. They took a 14-0 lead in this ball game, but Cal has come roaring back with 24 unanswered points. Now let's see what Andrew Luck and company can do. Owusu in motion. He's looking for Owusu. Changes his mind, goes over the middle. It'll be about a yard short of the first down as Kobe Fleener makes the reception. That's his second of the year. Had his first tonight. Kobe Fleener had his first career touchdown last week against USC. And you can see they have not had the ball that much.
We can see that Jim Harbaugh wants to be about 60-40 run to pass on first down. They're gotten behind a little bit now. You can expect maybe a little bit more throwing, especially on first down, to help that third down conversion.
They only need one for the first down. They fake it to Gerhard. They're looking. Luck has to dump it off in the flat for Marisik, and it is through his hands. A little bit of mustard on that ball.
Well, that's a phase of the game that Cal really had to have sewn up tonight. It's the kind of rallying out of that run fit, and then off that play action pass, defending well in the secondary. And Cal almost every time has done a great job on the back end off of that play action fake by Andrew Luck.
Well, average to go tonight on third down for Stanford was about 6. This is about 1. Bob Gregory on the sideline giving the signals. I think it's going to be Toby Gerhard.
You think?
There he is. He's got the first down and about 2 to spare as he gets up to the 43-yard line as we go inside of 3 minutes to play in the third.
It's like 83% or something like that. You get a good fit up front. You can see a little penetration just from the wrong side. The point of attack was secured well by Stanford's offensive line on that play, and then you give it to Gerhard. He knows what to do with it.
Now, this is a Stanford team that scored 55 points versus USC, who gave up a total of 93 points all of last year. Stanford on first down overall, just under 3 yards, but when they rush, under 2 yards on first. players around. They only rush 3. Luck with plenty of time going down the middle, has a man. It's complete inside the 30-yard line to Conrad Rulin, his first reception of the evening. That pass was pinpoint accuracy by Andrew Luck.
Brian Naboufi had great coverage. You can see that route developing. The tight end is just going to release right there as Rulin run the seam, and then once again it's just a big body keeping the defender away. Pretty well defended by Naboufi, but he couldn't do anything about Rulin's big body to get to that football.
All 6'6", 257, only his 6th catch of the year, and now Stanford is threatening as we go inside of 2 minutes to play in the third. Gerhardt, left side, grabbed from behind, and he's still able to pick up about 4. He is just so strong with that upper body, as Lewis was talking about at the beginning of the game. And you know, one thing about Toby Gerhardt, he brings his own spotter. Now, we got a spotter, Sam Polis, been with me almost 20 years now, but he brings his own. It's his dad who sits up in the stands and gives him hand signals, and at halftime he even text messages him because you're running too high. Use your speed. His dad, of course, was his high school coach.
No one knows you better than your high school coach, especially when it's your father.
Up in the stands, give the hands. I don't think Toby's looking up there right now. 2nd down and 6. Gerhardt gets a breather. Tyler Gaffney, he's got running room down the near side, inside the 10, inside the 5. Now they're saying touchdown. .22 yards for Tyler Gaffney, his 2nd touchdown of his young Stanford career.
Tyler Gaffney has more speed, and so it's the quick toss. Marisic's leading outside and gets him around the corner. The angles change because of the speed of Gaffney, and he tries to get it in the end zone. I think they're going to review this, but
watch where the knee is, Kelly. I don't think he got in.
I'm not sure if that knee ever got to the ground.
Well, they're going to have to take a look at that again.
But the way the angles change right there, look at the running lane and then the speed to get through it. Gerhardt doesn't have that speed to the outside. But I think that right leg got extended before the knee hit the ground.
But is he out of bounds? Watch, right?
I think that's a touchdown. Oh, right here.
Yeah. Before he hits the pylon.
I think you're right. I think it's going to be inside the 1. Remember, it was called a touchdown, so there has to be sufficient evidence to overturn that.
Well, Jay Stricker is one of the best officials in all of college football and the Pac-10. Let's take a look at it one more time and watch the knee before the pylon moves. That's a tough angle to see it. Well, they're going to make double, triple check sure. We're at 63 seconds left here in the third. If it is a touchdown, that's huge for Stanford.
I like the play call there. Jim Harbaugh gives Gerhardt a breather and puts Gaffney at more speed to the edge. So call a toss play that gets Gaffney to the edge that much quicker, and it caught Cal inside a little bit defensively.
Well, Jay Stricker still talking. I think it will be reversed, and after that one replay, the
Partner,
pylon
I don't think you've been right all year.
I haven't been right all year. Absolutely, this is our last game.
I don't think I've been right all year.
The odds are with me, though, Kelly.
You're right.
You know,
might as well keep.
Here's Jay.
After further review, it was determined that the runner was pushed out of bounds, short of the goal line, prior to breaking the goal line. It'll be first down, the 1/2 yard line.
Yeah, we'll take one more look at it.
You're now officially 1 out of about 57.
Yeah, really.
It wasn't right there. It's right out of bounds before the ball hits that pylon. I think it's a good call, and that was kind of iffy, but I think they saw what obviously they wanted to see and overturned it.
Only the 2nd time in the red zone for Stanford tonight, and of course Toby Gerhardt in the I formation, the ball at the half-yard line. Final 63 seconds of quarter number 3. A 10-point Cal lead.
And this is McGillicuddy right here, and number 80, even though he's a backup offensive lineman. So you have about 7 offensive linemen in there and a couple of tight ends.
Train moves over. Here's Gerhardt. Gets hit at the line of scrimmage. He does not get in. The official marking him right at the goal line. Devin Bishop, nice job, number 10 for Cal. Jesus also coming up from that safety spot. Pretty good point of attack.
And watching tape this deep in the red zone or in short yardage situations, I don't think I've seen anybody stop Stanford in this personnel grouping. They call it gigantic with 6 or 7 offensive linemen, Marisic at fullback and a tight end, Gerhardt carrying the football.
Mike Muhammad also helped. They'll try Gerhardt again. This time he's going to get in for the touchdown. Toby Gerhardt, what a night tonight. Over 100 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns.
It's all about mass, Ron, on this personnel grouping by Stanford. We get bigger and you can't get big enough, and so we get a touchdown. That's basically what Jim Harbaugh says.
And the extra point is good. 8 plays, 69 yards, 3 minutes and 38 seconds. 12 seconds left in the quarter. It's a 3-point game. Well, you know, Toby Gerhardt's a multi-sport guy, plays baseball and he plays football. And the video department. One thing about Toby Gerhardt, he's got an incredible sense of humor. He's a very self-effacing, very humble individual. All his friends, his roommate, his girlfriend all say he's just a very normal guy.
And they wanted to do the big billboard for his Heisman campaign, and he vetoed it. He said, no way, it's about my team right now, and that award will take care of itself if we win as a team. And his team is in a hot one right now against Cal.
Well, he's the all-time touchdown leader at Stanford for a season, for a career. He's rushed for 108 yards tonight on 17 carries, 18 100-yard games, most in Stanford history. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Only Darren Nelson has also accomplished that. Here is Jeremy Ross on the kickoff. He's got some running room to the outside. Tries to have the stiff arm at the 25. Ran a long way. They'll mark him up at about the 28. Here's Lewis with more on Toby.
Hey, Ron, if you look directly across from where you guys are sitting, way over in section 143, you're going to see Toby's dad, Todd Gerhardt, tucked under there with that brown hoodie on, trying to just stay out of the way. I went up and chatted with him earlier, and he said, you know what, I don't want to talk because in 4 years I haven't talked during the game, and I don't want to jinx him during this game. He also says his mom, Lori, is down at the Rose Bowl in L.A. because they have another son who plays right guard for Arizona State, so they had to split up. But he is so proud of the way Toby Gerhardt bounced back from the big USC game, popped it off here early, and he's hoping they can get another win.
All right, Lewis. Marine gets up to the 30-yard line, pick up of a couple. You talk about Toby Gerhardt's genes. His mom, Lori, you mentioned. She was the high school basketball star. His dad was the high school football star. Now they've got a bunch of athletes in their family. We've got 15 minutes left in the big game. We head to the fourth. Cal holding on to a 3-point advantage. Along with Lewis Johnson, Kelly Stauffer, we welcome you back to Stanford, where we head to the fourth quarter of the big game, the 112th edition, and Cal leading Stanford 24-21. Great year for Stanford, coming in at 7-3, beating USC last year, guaranteed their first winning season since 2001. Now they're trying to come back after leading 14-0, giving up 24 unanswered points to Cal. But they've cut that margin down. Here's Riley, the deep out. Oh, that was a dangerous pass, but Marvin Jones comes up with it. Boy, Kelly, how did that not get picked?
Riley once again being a little bit late outside, and Richard Sherman is going to take a gamble, and actually this should have been a pick six right there. Went right through his hands. Jones then does an incredible job of keeping his eyes on the football, but a little bit late to the outside. Usually doesn't end right for the quarterback. Riley was very fortunate on that play.
And it was good for a first down. Shane Vereen, he has kind of stolen the show a little bit tonight with his 152 yards rushing. And he's going to try to add to that, and he does. Gets another first down into Stanford territory, down to about the 47-yard line. Last 3 drives for Cal. How about that? It's a trifecta. That's since the interception.
Yeah, that's the puzzle they had to solve, Ron, is they had to get touchdowns in the red zone, take advantage of every opportunity down there. You know Stanford has more left. You got to get all you can get while you have that opportunity. They've done a nice job on those last 3 drives.
Closing in on 400 yards total offense now. And good job by the Stanford defense. They needed about a yard. They did get it. And Lewis has more on the Stanford D. Lewis.
Well, just to add to what you guys are talking about, that incredible push that the Cal offensive line has been getting, their defensive line coach for Stanford said, listen, we've got to get our pad levels down. We've got to get that push. He said, look, guys, right now we are losing the battle at the line of scrimmage, but get the pad levels down in these next possessions because we're going to run out of time. We've got to get the pad levels down and get that push to try and slow that Cal offense.
That's a great report, because Lou, on the line of scrimmage, it's all about pad level, and the lower pad level usually wins, and Cal has been lower on both sides of the line of scrimmage this evening.
Now we've got a Stanford player down. He is being looked at by the training staff with 13:51 left to play in the ball game. And it looks like Richard Sherman may be the player down. That would be a huge loss. But he is getting up under his own power, and he is off the field. But a 1st and 10 now for Cal. Ball on the 46-yard line of Stanford.
Well, I would like to see if right now Andy Ludwig knows that Richard Sherman just came off the field, and do not be surprised if Cal takes a shot right now with a new player in. Michael Thomas, number 3, is down here. They won't waste any time finding him.
Now Michael Thomas, the former option quarterback in high school. Riley looks, steps up in the pocket, still looking, throws across his body, complete inside the 25-yard line. Anthony Miller on the reception, his 3rd of the ball game.
And what a weapon Anthony Miller brings to this Cal offense. Riley wanted to go to the right to find that new defensive back, Michael Thomas. The pressure forced him out to the left, and oh, by the way, I have a 6'5", 260-pound tight end, and personal foul, roughing the passer, is going to be tacked onto it as well. Cal is driving the football right now.
What a job, though, by Anthony Miller. Hasn't played a couple of games because of arthroscopic knee surgery. Coming back in a big way. In the last couple of weeks, we've been reading in the paper, and Jeff Tedford saying, we hope he comes back. We hope he comes. I think he's glad he's come back tonight.
He really adds a totally new dimension to this Cal scheme, and you can see it. That big tight end that can set the edge, but he can also pressure the back end and pass coverage.
Well, Cal trying to answer the Stanford touchdown. Riley, a little 3-step drop, looks inside, touchdown, Cal's Marvin Jones. Kelly, as a former player in both college and the NFL, you lead your team to a touchdown, and then your opponent comes right back and jams it down you. How did you feel?
You feel like you have to go get it done again, and I think that's what Stanford, they want to run the football. Now all of a sudden they're going to have to find a downfield passing game to go with it.
The touchdown again.
Jones inside from a hot quarterback. Kevin Riley is seeing it clearly and throw it incredibly well. Stanford's going to have to score some points. Cal's not done.
For those of you just joining us on their first possession, Stanford scored courtesy of a 61-yard touchdown run by Toby Gerhart. They led 14-0, but Cal then with all the unanswered points, Stanford comes back, and then Cal answered. That's why they got a 10-point advantage. Marvin Jones has been limited this week in practice because of a quad bruise. He's their leading receiver, and he has given them that 10-point lead. This time they go with a little pooch kick. Try to keep it out of Owusu's hands, but still outstanding field position for Stanford. You know, we've seen Kevin Riley and the job he's done. Lewis Johnson caught up with him at practice to talk about his coach, Jeff Tedford.
So as a quarterback, you know Jeff Tedford has had great success with quarterbacks over the years. How has he helped you develop these last few years here at Cal?
Just knowledge of the game, and you know, preparation for the game, just toughness, and you know, it's helped a lot. You know, I've gone through my ups and downs at school. I've learned from the guys who've been here, who are great players, and just you know, preparing.
All right, so tell me about my form here. Let's look.
Well, he has prepared a lot of quarterbacks. Here's Andrew Love. He is going deep. The only person close to the football is Sidquan Thompson of Cal. We got to go back to Lewis because we've got to get your opinion on Lewis Johnson as a QB. Okay.
Well, there are two. All right. So tell me about my form here. Let me know if I ever have a chance at all.
I don't think so. No.
Lewis, we don't have all day in the pocket to throw the football. You have at most like 2.5 seconds. That took like an hour and a half there. You got to quicken it up if you want a shot.
What little ego I had was absolutely crushed right there on that field, I got to tell you.
Now Stanford now with 2nd and 10. A surprise. Chris Owusu, no receptions tonight. Luck looks, goes for the deep ball. They're battling a little hand-to-hand combat outside the 10-yard line, intended for Ryan Whalen. Sidquan Thompson on the coverage, but it looked like they were having a little karate demonstration out there. But how about the fact that Chris Owusu, no receptions tonight, Kelly?
Yeah, and if I want to go downfield, Ron, I don't want to pick on Sidquan Thompson.
Yeah.
He has like 30 games starting, incredibly experienced and very talented. He's probably going to play at the next level. If I go deep, I don't pick on number 5 for Cal.
Well, Owusu with no catches kind of goes what happened last week because he had only 1 against USC. Now it's 3rd down and 10 for Stanford. Ball on the 42-yard line. Cal showing blitz, but they bring 4. Luck hit as he throws, tipped up in the air, and Devin Bishop cannot come down with it. Second time tonight, Bishop had the pigskin in his eyes and couldn't get the hands on it. But what a job by Keith Browner putting the pressure on initially.
Yeah, Keith Browner gets off the edge quickly, and it hits Devin Bishop right in the basket, but a lot of times that's why you're on defense, is because you can't catch the football, but that's a missed opportunity.
Well, Stanford forced to kick it away. And Cal will take over at about the 25-yard line. The axe is on the line tonight. Will it go to Berkeley or will it stay here? 12:37 left to play. One of the many picturesque settings here on the campus of Stanford. Well, Kelly Stauffer, Lewis Johnson, we welcome you back. A good evening for football, and if you're a Stanford fan, you got your fingers crossed. You trailed by 10 with 12:37 to play, but that was Stanford's first 3 and out in the ball game. Between the two teams, Kelly, only 3 and outs the entire game.
Ron, we were talking about this at the break. I really like Cal, not only defensively, but team-wide. They seem more athletic, and they seem more physical right now, and really they have most of the game, minus about 1 play. Gerhardt's 61-yard touchdown run. Other than that, Cal has looked like the better offense on the field and defense.
And the more balanced offense.
Look at how balanced, 217 apiece.
Well, we talked about Stanford being balanced at the top of the show. Cal goes to work on offense. Shane Vereen. Prior to that carry, he had toted the ball 32 times, 163 yards. Those are career highs for him. He's also scored 3 times in the ball game. And Jeff Tedford does not want to talk about what's going to happen to Javid Best, but you know, just from a kind of a broad picture, if Best decides to go to the NFL, for instance, I think they got a nice replacement in Mr. Vereen.
Mr. Vereen, only a sophomore, and he has plenty left in him. But that was the 1-2 punch that Cal has counted on, but they've had to wait for a young offensive line to kind of grow up as the season's gone along.
On 2nd down and 7, here's Vereen again. Leans forward over the 35-yard line to the 37. That'll be close to yet another first down. As they continue to let the clock run, Thomas Kaiser on the tackle. He has 5 tonight.
And just keep an eye on a lot of football games. You can, instead of watching the football all the time, watch the line of scrimmage. Whatever team is reestablishing the line of scrimmage is typically the team that's going to win the football game. And Cal has been doing that both sides of the ball almost the entire night.
And they're calling it 3rd down and short as we close in on 11 minutes to play.
I think they're going
to let the play clock go down because it's at 3 right now, and they'll call a timeout. And Kevin Riley is not happy. He's looking at the sideline, kind of motioning what happened. Let's get the play in. You don't want to burn that timeout. That's their 2nd of the opening half, and Jeff Tedford talking to the head linesman about it. Wednesday, December 2nd on Versus, you'll find out what it takes to tackle the world's toughest sports jobs. Join NFL All-Pro linebacker Junior Seau as he does the jobs that make sports really work. Sports Jobs with Junior Seau. Series kicks off Wednesday, December 2nd, 10 o'clock Eastern, with 2 all-new episodes only on Versus.
Is our job ever going to show up on that show?
I think he does hard jobs.
Is it? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
You know, there are a lot of bowl ties in the Pac-10. Next year, of course, they add the Alamo Bowl in San Antonio, Texas, which is one of the outstanding bowls. But the champion, of course, will go to the Rose Bowl. Oregon and Arizona battling it out in Tucson for that. The Holiday Bowl, great one against the Big 12. OU getting smacked around today, by the way, in the Big 12. And the Sun Bowl, that's one of the most fun bowls I've ever been to in my life, is the Sun Bowl. Outstanding guys.
And UCLA beat Arizona State today, right? And so UCLA just became bowl eligible, right?
Yep. 3rd down and short now for Cal. 9 of 13, and they try to push the pile, and the officials coming in, and it's going to be close.
There wasn't a whole lot of movement on that play.
Boy, and Jeff Tedford and the team on the coaches on the far side are very upset.
Yeah, this is all about the spot. I mean, you can't possibly see what's going on in that massive humanity there.
Coaches are out on the field, and Jeff Tedford trying to take a gander. He's looking right down the line, but it's going to be close. And now, do we have a Belichick play here?
I can't imagine.
Holding on to a 10-point lead, you probably just want to kick the ball away.
I think it's about field position, up by 10 with just over 11 minutes left. Coach Tedford, I don't think, will hesitate to punt this football away.
Well, he's only 1 of 6 on 4th down this year, and here's the measurement. Oh,
they got it by an eyelash.
That's a gnat's eyelash. Okay, Jeff, you can take a breather. You know, we had a great visit with Jeff Tedford, truly one of the nicest coaches in all of college football. Yesterday, spent a lot of time with him just talking about a lot of things other than football. But you look what he has done since taking over at Cal. He's not only won football games, but his perspective of the kids has changed, and he is truly one of the great quarterbacks in this conference in all of college football. Here's Vereen. Gets close to the 40-yard line. And he's also had a pretty good run with quarterbacks.
Yeah, this isn't a bad group that we're going to see right here. Ed Rogers obviously leading it, and I mean a ton of them at Cal and a couple at Oregon, but he's a coacher of quarterbacks. But what you were talking about, Ron, he talked about learning that developing kids is much more than just X's and O's. I like that statement, and that's what we've seen out of Coach Tedford over the years. He's developed to realize that as the CEO of that program, it's about developing young kids beyond football.
Here's Vereen, and he's going to get close to the 1st down, right at the 1st down line, up over the 45 to the 47-yard line. And he'll be coming right at us on this. Watch this young man run the football.
And watch the blocking at the line of scrimmage. Offensive line doing a great job. I think you, Ron, could have ran through that hole right there. And then Yancey, from the secondary, that safety, the deepest position on the field for Stanford, ends up having to come up and make that play.
36 carries, 182 yards now for Vereen. They need about a foot for 1st down. I don't think they got it. I think he may have lost a half a yard on this. Macaluso not doing a nice job making the tackle. He's got 7 tonight.
Yeah, they needed a foot, and now I think they need about 6 inches. The play action pass, Vereen is going to lead, actually try to get out into the flat. Not very well set up. Good job defending by Stanford on that play, and it looks like they're going to try to get off the field right here finally.
And Riley is limping as he heads to the sideline to talk to his coach. And they will kick the ball away. Ryan Anger set at his 34-yard line. Kicks it straight up in the air. A nice high spiraling kick. Fair catch called for at the 13-yard line. It has really been the Shane Vereen show tonight. 181 yards rushing the football.
And he has the speed, we know that, but I've been impressed with the elusiveness up inside between the tackles. We've heard that he wasn't as elusive as Javid Best, but I don't think you lose much by going to Vereen. Good vision, sets up his blocking angles well, does a nice job of meshing with the offensive line. That young man has had himself an evening.
And I asked you at the top of the show, can he hold up? I think 36 carries has answered that question. Well, Andrew Luck goes to work, trailing by 10. Wide open over the middle. Over the 40 to midfield. Pass complete to Chris Owusu, his first catch of the night.
This is the first time that Cal hasn't held up on the back end off that play-action pass to Toby Gerhart. Owusu just going to run a post route inside, and Brett Johnson is late getting off the hash on the one side and just continuing to go with the post of Owusu. That's the first time tonight that Cal hasn't covered that two-man play-action pass game.
He picked up 37 on the play as we're getting near 8 minutes left in the ball game. They fake it. Luck looks. Gets it back to Owusu. Goes a little one-on-one with a linebacker. He's got the first down inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line. Mike Mohammed finally stands him up. And the running backs tonight. Gerhart not involved in the offense in this series, but he only had 17 carries, 108 yards, but 61 on one run, 66 yards on his first 2 carries of the afternoon.
Yeah, and we talked about if Vereen carried in that 30-plus category tonight, that Cal would have a good chance to win this game. He's carried 36 times. Cal has a great chance to win this game.
Plenty of time left. They fake it to Gerhart. Luck rolling. Being chased. Throws. Pass complete inside the 30. Down to Ryan Whalen. And they'll mark it at the 27-yard line. A pickup of 11 on the play.
Stanford doing a nice job, particularly Andrew Luck right now in the pass game. Most of their pass game is off of either quick passing game, the 3-step game, or play-action passes, and they're doing an efficient job on this drive.
Let's see if Cal can regroup defensively, because Stanford is now on a roll. They're getting close to 300 yards total offense.
Cal likes the edge pressure in situations like this.
Luck, 3-step drop again, looking, throwing, overthrown, intended for Ryan Whalen. The Boofy on the coverage.
I think as Stanford has driven the football right here, you would expect Bob Gregory to try to figure out a way to get pressure. But remember, Stanford has protected Luck all season long. Coming to this game, only 6 sacks in 10 football games.
7 minutes and 16 seconds left. Play clock at 10. 2nd and 10. Gerhart has got some running room. Gets inside the 10-yard line, down to the 5-yard line. Toby Gerhart finally corralled by Sean Cattouse.
Stanford does a nice job of pulling offensive linemen right there. David DeCastro leading up inside, gets a good kick-out block, and then Gerhart tries to take it to the house.
And they quickly go back to the line of scrimmage, and this will be another 6 for Toby Gerhart. And Stanford quickly moving the football downfield, and Toby Gerhart's dad likes it. What a night, though, for this Heisman Trophy contender. He's part of the 6-play, 87-yard drive. But the key there, Kelly, it only took him 1:45.
On that big chunk of yardage off a play-action pass, Cal didn't defend it very well for the first time this evening.
And it is a 3-point game once again.
Well, Stanford knows that Toby Gerhart can carry the football. That big chunk of yardage off of this man carrying, Toby Gerhart hooked him on their back and said, let's go try to get this done late.
7:01 left to be played. We have a 3-point ball game. Cal on top of Stanford in the 112th big game. You know, how big, and you were just saying during the break, Kelly, you said how big was that 3rd down? You needed a foot. And you have this play where it just doesn't go anywhere with Riley getting about a yard short of the first down. This is going to be Jeremy Ross inside the 5-yard line. Breaks 1 tackle over the 25 to the 27-yard line. Toby Gerhart tonight, though, he has come alive again. 19 carries, 134 yards, but more importantly, 4 TDs.
And that's the thing, is finishing drives. That's what Gerhart has done tonight. And he hasn't really gotten loose much. The one long touchdown, the 61-yarder we just saw. But it's the drive finishing ability of Gerhart that makes him special. You have to be able to not only drive the football, you have to find a way to get it in the end zone. Gerhart's a great way to get it in the end zone.
Rushing touchdown in each of the last 12 home games they go from the Wildcat. Vereen, this time he is going to be thrown down after a 2-yard loss. Thomas Kaiser, the sophomore out of Wexford, Pennsylvania. Coaches told us he's an effective rusher. He's an effective slammer, too, tonight.
Well, Stanford has done a better job on the previous drive defensively, and that play here by Chase Thomas doing a better job on the line of scrimmage, getting off of blocks up front and making plays on the other side of that line of scrimmage.
2nd and 12 now for Cal. Here comes the pressure. Incomplete, intended for Vereen. Let's check in with Al Troutwig. We've got a dandy going on in Tucson.
Hey, Ron, just like Cal, the longer this game goes, the better Arizona gets. Nice drive here, culminating with a Nick Booth 8-yard touchdown run. Arizona's in front of Oregon.
Wow. Oh, wow. Well, here we got 3rd down and 12 with 6:15 to play in the ball game. And the Stanford fans have finally come alive.
It's basically playoffs in the Pac-10. You win, you stay alive. If you don't, you're out of the Rose Bowl.
And now Cal goes with a 3 wide receiver set. 2 to the bottom of your screen as Jones goes in motion. 4-man rush. Riley's got time, throwing the deep out. Pass is going to be... They're looking at each other, and I think they're going to call it complete. The 2 officials met right at the 44-yard line. Varan Tucker is the receiver.
Varan Tucker is running really a corner route and then coming back down as he bends that route off, and they're going to stop and review it right here.
In the field, the pass was caught.
From what we saw, they ruled that the pass is caught.
Yeah.
Feet were in. If he had possession, that looks like a good catch to me.
Great body control by Varan. Tucker, the senior out of Fairfax High School and El Camino College in Torrance, California.
Yeah,
Watch
take
this
a look at this. The right foot is in. The left foot is up, but the right foot is down, so it doesn't matter. And does he possess it? I don't think we can see it on that play whether he possesses it or not. They ruled that he did.
Well, it's got to be, absolute evidence that, he didn't catch it, and I don't think they have that there. So I think it has to be a catch.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this comes back as stands, which means they didn't have conclusive evidence one way or the other to overturn it. So they just have it stand as called on the field.
One more look.
Riley making a nice throw on the move again. It's a matter of that right foot being in and then possession of the football. I think that's a good catch. I don't think there's anything there that will allow the officials to overturn that.
Well, Dre Stricker's taken a long time listening upstairs. They want to make absolutely certain there's a lot riding on this, obviously. And here is our answer.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
What a huge pass, Riley to Tucker. Fresh set of downs with 6:08 to play in the ball game.
And at the very least, Ron, you prevented that 3-and-out situation where you would have had to punt it back, and Stanford would have inherited the football probably with decent field position.
Cal has held the ball over 34 minutes. They'll go from the Wildcat again. Vereen stood up right at the 45-yard line after a pickup of 1. Stanford has had the ball less than 19 minutes in this ball game.
I think if Cal continues to run that Wildcat, they're going to have to prove that they're willing to throw out of it, because Stanford isn't respecting anything. They believe that Vereen's going to keep the ball in his hands, and they run the same type of running scheme up front that they do if the quarterback hands it to him.
Stanford has all of their timeouts, all 3 remaining. Cal has 1 left. Second and 8. Vereen hit right at the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard by Tom McAndrew. wearing number 20 tonight in honor of Clinton Snyder, his buddy, who is out with a knee injury. Lost 2 on the play. Nice job by McAndrew.
McAndrew does a nice job from his right defensive end position, actually left in this case, makes the spin move and runs right back into the play. You can see him right here. He's going to spin and make a play inside, right inside, runs right in the ball carrier Vereen.
On 3rd down and 10. Stanford shows blitz. Here they come. Riley throws this one up for grabs, has a man out there, and he looked up too late. Intended for Tucker. It was a little bit long. Riley went down as he threw the football as Shane Skov put the pressure on him. But my goodness, this was close.
And you know Stanford is coming. Riley knows that he has one-on-one outside. If I throw the right ball, my guy's going to win. There was pressure on him. Skov gets to Riley at the end. Just out of touch of Tucker's hands.
That was close to hitting Riley in the face, too, and that would have been a penalty. Now Cal forced to kick it away with 4:27 to play. A wobbly end-over-end kick. They're going to let it bounce. Gets a little bit of a Stanford bounce. And they will take over with 4:18. The road to the Rose Bowl for Stanford. They have to beat Cal tonight. If they don't, just cross off 2, 3, and 4.
And number 2, we've already heard, is still intact. Arizona is playing well at home against Oregon. So,
and what a job Mike Riley has done again at Oregon State. You know, probably I've said this before, he's the most underrated coach in college football. Just keeps winning.
Remember, this guy right here on the screen is a redshirt freshman. Sometimes he plays beyond his years, but he's never played in a situation like he is in right now.
Well, Cal now goes with 4 down linemen. They drop back 1. Luck throws the deep out. That's going to be overthrown. Pass was intended for Kobe Fleener. We welcome you to Stanford. It's the 112th edition of the big game, along with Kelly Stauffer and Lewis Johnson. We've got 4 minutes and 13 seconds left in the big game. The axe is on the line. Stanford trailing by 3, 31-28. How about that? 7 points or less in just about half of the games. 2nd and 10 now for Stanford. Ball's on the 21-yard line. Gerhardt, 4 touchdowns tonight, and he is thrown down at the 22-yard line. Boy, he took quite a hit there by Kendrick Payne, the redshirt freshman out of Houston.
Kendrick Payne in that nose guard position is actually going to chase from the backside. Does a nice job of closing that out from the backside. It was pretty well blocked at the point of attack, but Payne does a nice job of chasing it down.
3rd down and 8. Getting pressure up the middle. He's hit as he throws, and it's going to be incomplete at the 35-yard line. Owusu, the intended receiver, but I think the play was really made on the pressure of that man.
Yeah, I think the pressure on Locke, coupled with pretty good coverage by number 17, Chris Conte. The speed guy, Owusu, was inside running a corner route.
And they're going to go for it. Do you agree?
Wow, I don't know that I agree right here. Stanford still has 3 timeouts. You can get the football back if you just play defense. But I think Jim Harbaugh, we've seen him gamble in the past. He's willing to put all in right here.
Jamal Rashad Patterson goes wide to the right on 4th down and 8. Luck has time, throws incomplete. Cal will take over with 3:28 left in the ball game.
What I don't agree with there is the down and distance. It's 4th, obviously, but it's 8. If it's 4th and just a little bit, or you can run and pass the football, whichever you want to do. But I think the pressure, it gets tipped. He's trying to go to Jim Dre coming underneath.
I think Keith Browner got his hand on it.
And then the reaction right there by Luck, he knows. I just think with 3 timeouts, with about 3.5 minutes left, I think you go ahead and punt it away and get the football back in a more favorable position.
Now remember, Jim Harbaugh went for it on 4th down at Arizona, and that backfired on him. Here's Vereen. And he's just going to stay in bounds. What a heads-up play by Shane Vereen. He could have run out of bounds, Kelly, but he took the knee at the 11, and the axe is waiting. Will it go back to Berkeley? And now the officials, I think somebody called a timeout.
Game clock will start. Am I ready for play signal?
That's a clock problem, but for Cal, you've got 3:21, and you're knocking on the door as they're adjusting the clock. 1st and 10, ball is on the 11-yard line. Boateng goes wide to the left. Jones in the slot, top of your screen. Vereen again on the carry. Not much going on. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. That is his 41st carry of the night. And I think Stanford's going to use one of their timeouts.
One of their 3. That's the first one they're going to burn. And
hockey fans, tune your TVs to Versus on Monday, November 30th, because it'll be Toronto taking on the Maple Leafs, and then on December 1st, keep it right here on Versus as the Blue Jackets take on the Red Hot Chicago Blackhawks. The NHL is on Versus. Now, Stanford fans were hoping that they continue this outstanding season with a victory over their arch rival Cal, but Cal fans, they wanted to get the winning streak back on the line after losing in 07 and winning last year.
All hope isn't lost. 2 timeouts, almost 3 minutes left, and if Stanford can keep Cal out of the end zone right here and force him to a field goal attempt, anything can happen.
Right. 2nd down and 10 from the 11-yard line. Stanford 481 yards total offense. Vereen looking for some running room, gets inside the 10, down to about the 8-yard line, pickup of 3. Stanford will use yet another timeout. That'll be their 2nd. They'll have 1 remaining. Well, here's your Miller High Life common sense play of the game, and what a pass it was to Tucker. This was huge.
Yeah, the time and the situation in the game, but also the difficulty of the throw and the catch.
And he picked up 18 on that play. Crucial 3rd down play. How many crucial plays have we had? Stanford had the ball, 1st and 10 from the Cal 27-yard line. Didn't get anything. And then we had the 3rd down and a foot play for Cal. They couldn't convert, had to kick it away. Then we had that play. A lot of crucial plays this evening.
Hey, brother, it's a big game. You have crucial plays all over the place, right?
Absolutely. And now Kevin Riley needs 8 for the 1st down.
Yeah, speaking of big plays in the big game, this is one of them right here. 3rd and 8. This is what we talked about. Kevin Riley has been fantastic in these situations. After a shaky start, he's played very, very well this evening, and he needs to come up with a play right here.
17 of 31, 235 yards. No more important yards than the 8 he needs now.
And what you're telling yourself, at the very least, we line up and kick a field goal. I do not make a mistake right here.
Well, he's just going to get right in the middle of the field and take a knee. Not even try for the 1st down.
Jim Harbaugh burns his last time out with 2:46 left, so they're going to have plenty of time on the clock to get into their 2-minute situation and see if the redshirt freshman Andrew Luck can get something done.
Well, Jim Harbaugh was looking for that 8th win tonight, their 7th win in the conference. Let's check in with Lewis Johnson down on the field.
Well, Ron, with 2:46 to go, this game is not over, but the stare down for the Axe has already begun. You're looking right now at the students in the Axe committee for Stanford, and then on the other side, there are the California Bears who actually have the Axe back there in that group. And so in just a few minutes, they will literally approach each other, and they'll have a complete stare down, and they'll stand in front of each other until that clock reads 0-0-0. And if Cal wins, they'll retain it. And if it's Stanford, there'll be an exchange. So it's really getting tense down here.
This is a 28-yard field goal attempt, and it'll split the uprights for Vince D'Amato, kicking in place of Tavecchio. So the lead's been stretched to 6, and Lewis is shaking in his boots on the far side of the field.
Don't get in the way of those people down there,
I'm
Lewis.
telling you. Stare down.
They were intense.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually thinking about asking for some security down here.
I think you should. Look at this guy right here.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that face.
Come on now.
You don't think this is serious? It goes all the way back to the late 1800s.
You know, that Axe Club, they've been training for this for quite some time.
You know, you can even go back farther than that. In 1930, they had the immortal 21 who stole the axe from Cal. It had been in a vault, and after the heist, people were so excited here they canceled classes for 2 days, and the 21 were actually honored.
I bet they did. All right, partner, here we go. Cal's up by 6, 2:43 left to play in this game, and
You can't kick it to Owusu, though, right?
No, you kick that is so far away from Owusu that he can't even see the football.
You have somebody with a big number catch it, right?
Absolutely. That's what you're hoping for, but you also don't want to give Stanford field position by kicking it too short in a situation like this.
And they're just going to throw a little ground ball left side of the infield. Straight up the middle. They'll have pretty decent field position up over the 40 to the 42-yard line. And they've got 2:39 to work with. And Stanford is out of timeouts, and we've got a Cal player down at the 41. As the stare down continues for the Axe. So Fele is the player that's been injured, had a couple of key plays tonight in Jim Harbaugh's squad. Not a lot of time to work with. They haven't had the ball a whole lot tonight, as a matter of fact. Less than 20 minutes. When they've won, they've controlled the time of possession.
Well, on that last drive when Stanford had to throw the football, it was number 81 Owusu that they looked for, and he's matched up right here one-on-one, and unless the safety gets over to help, and Whalen is in the slot down here.
Remember, their last touchdown drive took less than 2 minutes. Luck steps up in the pocket. The C's part for him. Gets over the 50. That'll stop the clock as he gets down to the 46-yard line with 2:32 to play.
And in a situation like this, Ron, you don't have to kill it. It stops. It'll be signaled for play by the referee, and that's what they're doing right now.
Pickup of 12 on the play. 3-step drop. And he is going to be dropped. Takes a sharp hit to the head as he gets down to the 43-yard line. With 2:15 to go, clock is running.
What Cal likes to do on the back end is play quarters coverage, and that's going to give a one-on-one opportunity up here to Owusu if it's played right.
And now Luck is forced to scramble. Dumps it off to Gerhardt inside the 40, breaks through inside the 30, still on his feet inside the 20. What a play by Toby Gerhardt.
Andrew Luck, the redshirt freshman quarterback, getting out of the pocket, doing a nice job of finding Toby Gerhardt, who's not even figured into the play. But once Gerhardt has the football in his hands, obviously he knows what to do with it.
That's his first reception tonight, only the 9th of the season. He had a couple of drops early in the game, but now he gives them 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line with 1:52 left. Owusu to the right. Stephon Taylor now in the backfield. Gerhardt getting a breather. They fake it to Taylor. Luck scrambling, looking. He's going to throw into the end zone. That's going to be incomplete. Pass broken up by Nabufi. Gerhardt goes back into the lineup. Clock stopped with 1:42 to play. Jeff Tedford's team overcame a 14-point Stanford lead early. They took a 10-point advantage. Now Andrew Luck trying to get the victory. for 3. 3 touchdowns in the red zone for Stanford tonight. Luck looks, throws, intercepted at the 3-yard line by Mike Mohammed.
Job of not settling down in his coverage but continuing to get depth, and Luck was under pressure. This ball just needs to go higher. 6'6", 241-pound tight end you're throwing it to, let him go up and get it. And Jeff Tedford knows that the axe is going back to Berkeley. Harbaugh knows it's not staying here. He's only had it one time. Tedford has kept the axe once again.
Only turnover for Stanford tonight, and it was a costly one. But Mike Mohammed, you talked about him early in the telecast. 8 tackles, an interception. And Cal, who's had a tough season, and Jim Harbaugh was hoping to make it 3 in a row. This is a team that has put up over 500 yards on an average the last 4 games. They'll finish with 345 tonight. 7 of the last 8 now. This big game, Kelly, goes to Cal.
Yeah, and we talked about the linebacking level needed to play well. They have. And Kevin Riley needed to support Vereen, and he has two-dimensional run game, pass game. Cal has played a complete game here tonight.
Shane Vereen, 42 carries, 193 yards, 3 touchdowns, career highs. Toby Gerhart, 20 carries, 136 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Now the stare down is official. And Jim Harbaugh, who's a perfectionist, he has done a great job in his 3 years here at Stanford. This is going to be a bitter pill to swallow. Final 23 seconds. One more play. The sideline of Cal is about to erupt. They already threw the proverbial Gatorade water bucket on Jeff Tedford, and that's it. In a row for Cal, beating Arizona last week, beating their arch rival Stanford this week. Vereen, the last 2 games, 72 carries, 352 yards, and 4 touchdowns in place of Javid Best. And Lewis is with a very happy Coach Tedford now. Lewis.
Well, Coach, in your 100th game, you've won the big game again, and you retained the X. What does it mean to you?
I'm so proud of our players and our coaching staff. They did a great job of preparation. Players played hard. You got to give Stanford a lot of credit. What a great football team they have. Our guys played physical. They played hard. I can't say enough about our kids. I'm just so proud of them.
How about the tension late in this game, and then you had that late interception to seal it? What was that moment like?
Well, you know what? It's all about finding a way to win. And, you know, we knew they had no timeouts, and the clock was running, and we needed a big play on defense because Gerhart running down the sideline, he's a heck of a player. So we feel very fortunate to win. I'm proud of our kids. Got a week off now, but it's awesome to keep the axe in Berkeley.
And finally, I know there's no replacing Javid Best, but how about Shane Vereen and his 3 touchdowns, 193 yards of rushing?
You know, Shane, we've always known that Shane's a great player, and for him to come out tonight and just carry the load, he's an awesome kid. Him and Javid do so well together. I'm so proud of Shane. He's just an awesome player, and the offensive line blocked very well.
All right, Jeff, congratulations. I think there's some fans out here that want to celebrate with you. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Ron.
All right, coaching in his 100th game for Cal, Jeff Tedford has now tied Pappy Waldorf's modern-era record for wins, and it's a big one. He defeats Stanford 34-28. For more information on college football, log on to versus.com. For the final time for 2009, for Kelly Stoffer, Lewis Johnson, our entire Versus crew, I'm Ron Thulin. Thanks for spending your Saturdays with us here at College Football on Versus. Now let's go to the Craftsman postgame show with Al Troutley.